Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Hello and welcome to the XOX Esports Challenge. We're in round 2 here at Oran Park, and this is going to be an absolutely amazing race. We've got the AM race and the Pro race coming right up, as well as a special surprise for all you viewers at home. I'm your host for this evening, Max Palmer, and with me in the studio is Encik Bob. Apa khabar, Encik Bob?
Ya, Max, apa khabar semua? Khabar baik, Max. Okey, dan
Yeah.
anda sekarang sedang menyaksikan XOX Esports Challenge 2020 round yang kedua.
Itu dia. Dan terima kasih kepada Tengku Irsyad dan Jeff Leong yang pertama dan kedua like. Fairuz Fadzil pun ada juga di bawah sana tengah like. So do leave a like and a comment and share that sim racing love around. And if you do so, there's going to be a very, very special prize. Ada benda yang istimewa sikit pada malam ni. Yes, the XOX Esports Challenge Round 2 giveaway prize for viewers. Itu dia. So, kita boleh intro sikit ni untuk penonton yang tune in pada awal-awal sampai habis ni, Bob. Nanti dia akan dapat giveaway. So, inilah giveaway yang special daripada XOX yang akan diberikan kepada penonton semua. Hadiah ini ditaja oleh penaja bersama championship ni, XOX. So, kita ada 5 SIM card. Ya.
Lain macam minggu ni, Max.
Itu dia.
Minggu lepas kita tak ada macam ni kan. Nampak gaya kali ni, dengan telefon, dengan gaming headset, dengan SIM card. Apa yang menarik? Boleh kita ceritakan, Max, malam ni? Hadiah.
Ya, itu dia. Kita ada 5 SIM card One XOX prepaid dengan 10 GB internet pantas. Sensasi sikit itu. Lepas tu 3 SIM card One XOX Black postpaid, ni yang taraf tinggi sikit, yang berharga RM39 sebulan. Dan Bos Bobby dan geng One XOX ni dah pun bayar bil 3 bulan. So tak payah risau pasal bil untuk 3 bulan yang pertama. So for the first 3 months, you're not going to need to pay the bill there on your 3 One XOX Black SIM cards, as well as the 5 One XOX prepaid cards there. They're out there with 10 gigs of fast internet. So this giveaway prize, just to bring you guys up to speed, if you watch from the start of the stream all the way to the end, you are going to be in with a shot of winning not only those SIM cards, but also an Oppo Reno 4 phone with One XOX Black prepaid package that's already been paid off for the first 6 months. 6 bulan dah bayar bil dekat handphone tu. So jangan risau apa-apa pun. And also the Steel Series gaming headsets. Very nice stuff indeed. In fact, I'm slightly jealous. I should probably go and ask and see if they can give me a set there. So macam mana korang nak menang hadiah-hadiah ni semua?
Okey, cara dia bukan saja pelumba. Kalau pelumba biasalah pelumba, dia race, dia menang, dia dapat hadiah. Yang ini khas untuk penonton, subscribers dan juga followers yang menyaksikannya pada kali ini. Okey, cara dia senang saja. First kali, korang kena like, follow dan juga tengok apa yang sedang kami saksikan ni. First kali, like dan follow Facebook page One XOX, XOX Malaysia, Added Impact dan juga TKKR Racing Team. Itu langkah yang pertama, Max. Yang kedua, silakan.
Yang kedua, share live race nanti. So share that live race stream after you've liked and followed all of those pages. Share this live stream and don't forget to include the tagline XOX Esports Challenge.
Ya, itu dah tuan-tuan. Dan langkah yang ketiga, anda perlu jawab 5 soalan mudah yang akan dikemukakan semasa live nanti di bahagian komen. Okey, yang ini dia akan buat di antara waktu rehat nanti di antara break, di antara amateur race dan juga professional race. Itu soalan dia.
Ya, so itu dia ada juga beberapa soalan yang akan dikeluarkan daripada official tag One XOX nanti. So do stay tuned for that. So just remember to like all of those pages, share the stream, and you could be in with a chance to win and win big. The prizes are only going to get bigger, better and brighter. So semakin lama semakin cantik prize dia.
Telefon Oppo Reno 4 Pro.
Boleh tahan juga handphone tu. So korang yang berjaya menemui kriteria ni semua akan dipilih untuk sesi cabutan bertuah yang akan berlangsung selepas tamat live race kita. So jom pastikan anda stay sampai habis.
Sebabnya mungkin hint jawapan tu ada sewaktu perlumbaan awal dan juga akhir tu nanti. So korang tak boleh ke mana-mana, jangan skip. Yang paling penting tolong like, follow, share dan juga dapatkan input. Mungkin ada jawapan sewaktu live stream ini nanti.
Ya, itu dia. So stick around to the end to give yourself the best possible chance at winning these fantastic prizes there, the Steel Series gaming headsets, the Oppo Reno 4 and all those SIM cards there from XOX. Fantastic plans, burn-proof data, and the ability to share your data, your call minutes, and your SMS as well. So a fantastic provider, and of course a fantastic opportunity for you guys to win and win big.
Bukan saja pelumba, penonton juga layak dan juga berpeluang untuk memenangi hadiah di XOX Esports Challenge 2020.
Ya, bagus juga organizer. Kita hanya boleh terima kasihkan kepada organizer-organizer semua dan kepada sponsor juga yang sudi memasuki sim racing ni dan cuba meriahkan suasana. So thanks to all of our sponsors for making that deal happen and also to bring a new bit of excitement from all of the guys out there. But for now, let's have a look at the amateur class results from round 1. A fantastic race over at the Watkins Glens circuit with Afizul Azhar, aka Jai Bluebird, taking home the win with Azrael Nazli in second place and Simon Sanchez in third. Pity with Lloyd Lachlan, he was in third for a long time, but he just missed out. In the end, he ended up in fourth, followed by Muhammad Zikri.
Tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, ini adalah antara pemenang kita yang berlumba pada minggu lepas. Round yang pertama, amateur class result, Jai dapat nombor 1, Azril Nazli di tempat kedua, manakala Simon Sanchez di tempat yang ketiga.
Itu dia, dan kita boleh tengok ke bawah situ pun ada juga lagi pemandu-pemandu yang agak laju di dalam kategori ini. Syahril Norafuddin pun ada, Federico Texera. So Simon Sanchez and Federico Texera, they're both from Macau, so it's wonderful to have them coming down here and competing with us. And also we have Boss Bobby, who is in 9th place. He is a wild card, so we won't be scoring points for the season, but we will be keeping a very, very close look as to how he does throughout the season. I think all of us are very excited to see how well Bobby does.
Yeah. Okay, hello from Roll Chats. Roy, Kevin Singh, hi. Hello. Sebentar itu dia orang ni sebenarnya kena banyak berinteraksi dengan kita tau, Max.
Itu dia. So Kevin Singh dan Roy Charles pun adalah salah dua daripada pemandu yang cuba compete di dalam XOX. Kevin Singh, Matthew, harap-harap tak pun pula. So we were hoping that we won't have any sort of cutouts there, but hopefully we'll be able to stay with you all throughout to the end. Let's have a quick look at the amateur class team standings. Android King Hyperballs are out with a commanding lead, 26 points ahead of HM SRT with 16, but it's early days of the season so far, so it's bound to change with a drop of a car. So do stay tuned to the battle up ahead, but there's a battle brewing there for the podium positions there. HMSRT with 16 points, then Toda Asia with 13, Hyperbulls Bushwhacker with 12, Stream.my also with 12, and Just Keep Racing in 11th place. So very, very tight battle up at the front of the field with all the other teams as well really pushing onwards. One of the teams that would have been up there would have been one XOX TKKR e-racing team. Right now, Kamal Ali is the only point scorer in that team at the moment, but we have basically put in a little asterisk there to see what the positions would be like if Bobby had in fact scored those points for the team. So it'll be interesting to see how well they do, and hopefully we'll see if the mighty TKKR team can really make its presence felt.
Okay, untuk pasukan pula yang dapat kita saksikan sekarang ini, Android King Hyperboost berada di kedudukan yang teratas dengan jumlah 26 mata, manakala HM SRT di tempat kedua, Toda Asia di tempat ketiga, Hyperboost Bushwhacker di tempat keempat. Kita juga ada Stream.my, Just Keep Racing, Android King Toda, Dantes Toda, URT Green, Veteran MSR, Hyperboost Bruiser, HM SR Team, Tim Kuras Motorsport dan juga One XOX TKKR e-racing team. Itu dia untuk senarai pasukan sekarang ini.
Ya, itu dia. Dan memang interesting juga nampak variasi dalam tim-tim tu. Veteran MSR antara betul-betul boleh dikira ke veteran, dia orang berlumba sejak tahun 2000-an One XOX adalah salah satu daripada motor TKKR ni, antara satu daripada pasukan motor yang paling terkemuka di Asia, dan juga turut berlawan dengan pasukan Todak yang boleh dikirakan Touring Car Masters dan juga dengan pasukan yang strictly sim. So a lot of variations in the teams here. It's going to be a very exciting race here at Oran Park.
Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, yang mana baru menyaksikan sekarang ni, kita minta jasa baik tuan-tuan dan puan-puan supaya tolong like, share live stream ini, khas untuk semua sekali. Dan untuk makluman anda, selain daripada Facebook, kita juga bersiaran di YouTube, Max.
Yeah, so tolong like kan page Facebook ni dan juga subscribe kepada channel YouTube. So like the Facebook page, subscribe to our YouTube channel if you prefer to watch the YouTube stream, and also do share that sim racing love around. And if you keep your eyes out there on the chat box for our little 1XOX representative to pop up those questions and those links to enter, you do stand a chance of winning very big. So do stay tuned whilst we head out around the wonderful Oran Park circuit. And what a day to go racing it is. 22 degrees Celsius out there, partly cloudy, with quite a gusty wind condition, so it could be very difficult to get a tow on the drivers to slipstream down the track. So it could be very interesting indeed to see how that goes. Oran Park, one of the few figure 8 tracks out there with a flyover section. It's going to be absolutely amazing. 2.6 kilometers, short but very, very sharp.
Okey, di round yang kedua, sekarang anda sedang menyaksikan round yang kedua untuk amateur class, dan kalau tak silap aku, yang ini adalah track yang pernah kita join dulu kan. Ini kali untuk aku ini kali kedua lah aku berada dekat Oran Park ni. Yang menariknya, dia ada satu corner yang betul-betul mencabar, yang mana banyak orang membajak kat situ. Turn berapa, Max?
Itu dia, turn yang kedua kita pergi on board sekarang dengan Afizul Jai, pemenang round pertama. So going through turn 1 here, you got to be as fast as possible before braking for turn 2. A lot of incidents happen here because the corner tightens up towards the exit. Then you go underneath the flyover section and into the braking zone here for turn 3. Turns 3, 4 and 5 are very tricky. Right-handers, varying degrees of width and varying sort of inclinations as well. Very difficult, especially turn 5 here, because you drop into the corner there. The camber has a lot of variations through there. Now you go over the top of the flyover and you have to turn in whilst you're still on the bridge before you go through turn 6. The very high speed section through here, going through the first of the S's, coming up towards the end there. Now it's going to be very tricky to try and settle the car down before you brake for this next left-hander. Next up is going to be a very high speed S's there. Afizul Jai right on the limit there. He's going to have to straight line this. You cannot see the second corner until you're virtually on top of it. Now you're coming into the final corner there. Very difficult on entry, and you have to run as wide as possible, almost clipping the wall there before you go across the line for a lap of the Oran Park circuit.
Dan untuk makluman tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, anda sedang menyaksikan ini adalah pemenang tempat pertama pada minggu lepas, berjaya membawa pulang cash prize. Anda sedang menyaksikan Jai Bluebird sedang beraksi sekarang ini.
Ya, itu dia Afizul Jai ataupun Jai Bluebird. Dengan cerita dia memang boleh dikirakan drifter extraordinaire. Saya pernah juga menyaksikan aksi-aksi bakat dia di masa dia membawa kereta praktis dia. So I have actually seen Jai Bluebird race in real life in his preferred sport of drifting, and it was a great pleasure to see him out there. He was, I believe, driving his practice car, which was a little Toyota KP61 Starlet, and it was very entertaining indeed. So hopefully he'll be able to get some more drifting practice in, but for now he will be looking towards just one prize, and that is round 2 of the XOX Esports Challenge. Bolehkah dia menang untuk kali kedua, ataupun mungkinkah Syabi Azri yang akan menang?
Okey, catatan yang berjaya dilakukan sekarang ni yang terbaik adalah 1.15.142 saat. Kalau minggu lepas dia dah menang, kita nak tengok boleh tak dia menang lagi sekali untuk minggu ini. Okey, ini adalah pusingan yang kedua untuk makluman tuan-tuan dan puan. Anda bakal menyaksikan kami bersiaran secara live selama berapa minggu, Max? 6 minggu
Ya, 6 minggu. Kami ke dalam minggu yang kedua. So ada lagi juga banyak lagi peluang untuk menyaksikan aksi-aksi. So plenty more times to have a look through there. So We could look at the comment sections. Encik Bob, bila nak organise event macam ni? Takkan selalu Datuk Sago ke? Jom kita pergi ke Oran Park.
Aduh, untuk musim pandemik ni, aku rasa ini adalah salah satu medium yang terbaik sekarang. Sebab lagipun Abang Roy pun sekarang ni dia kalau tengokkan dia punya set gaming dia tu apa.
Itu dia.
So musim sekarang aku rasa e-racing lebih mendapat tempat lah dan sesuai untuk keadaan sekarang ini.
Ya, betul. So Nur Jihan Salamun, nama dia memang cantik. Nice lah nak jadi rider macam dia. Okay. Apa yang diperlukan ialah PC dengan sebuah steering seperti Logitech G27 ataupun similar to that, dan sebuah subskripsi dimasukkan ke dalam game ni. Game ni ialah iRacing. So iRacing ni agak special sikit. Dia ialah simulation yang boleh dikirakan agak accurate lah. So dia ada lesen system, dia ada steward system, dan dia ada rules of racing. So memang senang untuk belajar macam mana nak berlumba di alam maya.
Kos Max, aku rasa ramai yang tahu Matthew Palmer adalah salah seorang e-gamers di dalam iRacing juga. So mungkin ada yang tahu, untuk newbie macam kami nak join iRacing, berapakah kos permulaan yang diperlukan?
So kalau boleh kirakan RM1,000 for the PC, 2,000 ringgit for the PC, another $800 for the monitor, a high refresh rate monitor. You don't need that, but I have it. As well as about another 1,200 to 1,300 ringgit for the wheels. So memang kurang daripada RM5,000 pun dah boleh bermula. Dan dengan setup sebegitu pun boleh juga jadi alien dia. Bukan semestinya keluarkan duit. Dan yang paling best tu, bila dah keluarkan duit tu, hanya RM27 sebulan untuk memasuki servis iRacing.
Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, sekarang ni dapat kita saksikan on board kita bersama dengan Bos Bobby. Dapat kita saksikan sebuah jentera Mazda dengan livery XOX ni. Ini merupakan antara penaja kita, memang penaja kita untuk siaran kali ini. On board Bobby Farid, antara yang terpantas juga sekarang ni berjaya mencatatkan masa 1.15.936 saat. Itu dia, terbabas.
Alamak, baru je kita nak tayangkan Bos Bobby tu terbabas. Sorry bos. So Boss Bobby is not only the man who is helping us out with the sponsorship of the event and with the running of the event as well, but he is also one of the biggest names in motorcycle racing. He's the boss of the TKKR SAG racing team, which is sponsored by XOX as well, and they have gone through the entire gambit of motorcycle racing. You could race with them all the way from Cup Prix to the Asian Road Racing Championship to the Spanish CEV Championship, which is the best championship to race in Europe, and they have even run their own Moto2 team in the past in MotoGP. So they're a world-class operation. It's fantastic to have Bobby Farid come into the stream there. So let's have a quick look at some more of the chat. We have Lloyd Lachlan, ever the colourful person there. Max, am I allowed to Liberace Surin? Perhaps not. I'm not too sure if our steward of the meet and our COC Paducah show would perhaps allow that. If you're wondering what Liberace means, it's hitting someone from the back. So, ever the entertainer, Lloyd Lachlan. He is a man who has actually texted us live updates during the course of the race during one of the AMC events. So it'd be interesting to see if he managed to do that this time around. Roy Charles, Bob tak payah newbie sangat. Cari sponsor untuk prize pool dan run event. Kami mesti join. Mana tahu.
Aku sebenarnya sedikit hampa sebab aku nak tengok Roy join event ni. Tapi sebenarnya kita ada saringan untuk join 6 minggu perlumbaan pada kali ni. Kita ada orang kata percubaan Max.
Ya. Qualification.
Qualify. Yang lepas qualify akan mendapat tempat 30 untuk amateur class dan juga 30 untuk pro class. Roy dia masuk untuk yang mana Dia qualify untuk yang mana
Dia kalau tak silap, alamak macam malu pula nak cakap. Tapi aku rasa dia qualify sebagai posisi ke-61.
Satu lagi. Tapi itulah, macam aku cakap, kalau dulu kita banyak perlumbaan yang betul, tapi disebabkan pandemik COVID mengubah kita daripada perlumbaan betul ke perlumbaan maya. Yang mana aku rasa benda ni lebih menarik dan player kita ramai membuatkan yang qualify tu banyak yang tak lepas nak masuk. Sebab untuk iRacing hanya dapat untuk 31 race, 30 kereta je.
Dia mengikuti circuit, tapi untuk kali ini kita kurangkan untuk bab safety untuk cuba dapatkan race yang lancar. So we limited each grid to 30 competitors in order to try and keep the incidents down to a minimum. We like dramatic events, but we don't want it to be too dramatic.
So mungkin akan datang kita dapat saksikan roll chase bersama dengan kami. InsyaAllah akan datang kita akan menyaksikan roll chase.
Yeah, and then there's the first message there from one XOX steady boss. We agree, steady juga lah boss Bobby tu semasa di luar track tu sekarang. So let's have a look on board at Zikri. He's now currently on his way to setting a time here during the qualifying sessions here at the XOX Esports Challenge at the Oran Park circuit there. So we've got a few drivers who are out there still on their out laps. The first person to perhaps get a full-time lap might be Lloyd Lachlan. We'll keep an eye out for him. Lloyd Lachlan, Federico Texera go across the line. Of course, a lot of the times these guys will do 2 laps or maybe even 3 laps to warm up the cars before they go for the flying lap. So Simon Sanchez now goes across the line. He's in 4th. So Zikri is the fastest so far, but it's only a 1:16.239, but it's all very, very close indeed. It's the next lap that we're going to really see the quick times come out.
Kevin janji boleh kuti ayam.
Yeah, so kita dah masuk sesi kualifikasi, mesti diorang nervous sikit jugalah. Boleh dapatkan sebab Titan ni memang susah.
Tricky. Titan ni memang tricky, bhai. Turn 2 tu memang sangat jahat. Boleh kita saksikan hampir ramai lah yang terbabas sikit dekat turn yang kedua tu.
Itu dia. So mungkin dekat start nanti kita boleh bayangkan lah apa yang akan jadi di turn 2. So turn 2 is going to be the real tricky point of this track. We're right on board with Kamal Ali. He's going to head down towards turn 2 now. And the tricky bit about this track here is that you're going through this fast left-hander. You have to brake just ever so slightly to get through that straight as possible. Then you're hard on the brakes, as hard as you can, to try and get the car turned in for turn 2. And that's where the problems happen. If you get slippery or sideways or start sliding around during the course of the race, that could lead to trouble coming into turn 2. Hanif Borhan, hi Encik Matthew dan Encik Bob, bila lah boleh join e-race ni? Alangkahnya entries for this season have closed, but that does not mean you are out of luck. There'll be plenty more seasons to come this year. 2021 is set to be a big year in sim racing, so do stay tuned for more information coming out from us at Adrenaline Impact, as well as all of our partners throughout Malaysia, throughout Singapore, and throughout the region. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic time to be sim racing in Asia for 2021.
Kita ni rindu dengan Tok Dip ni. Tok Dip last time 2018 rally Perlis dan juga rally Terengganu. Kita nak join, kita nak ajak Tok Dip join racing ni.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Hanif Borhan, I believe it's 33 Motorsports, do correct me if I'm wrong here. He's one of the top rally drivers here in Malaysia. The last couple of rallies we did in Perlis and in Terengganu in 2018, he was there and fighting for the top positions there. So a very, very talented driver there in Hanif Borhan, and also very, very quick at the racetrack as well. So do stay tuned. It's going to be very interesting to see him enter the world of sim racing. Mungkin kita ada fun race ataupun apa-apa lagi. Mungkin ada event-event yang kita boleh keluarkan di masa hadapan.
Ya, sebab aku rasa Tok Nip dia kena join iRacing ni. Sebab untuk yang ni juga, untuk perlumbaan kali ni sebenarnya banyak kita punya ikon-ikon perlumbaan yang memang glamour-glamour selain daripada e-racer tu sendiri.
Yeah, itu dia. So let's just have a look there. Roy Charles, Matthew, what sorcery is this? You can commentate and race at the same time. not at the same time. I'm not running in this series. Otherwise, there would be no one here in the studio to accompany Encik Bob. So I've decided to take a break out there. Usually, if you're going to find me in iRacing, by the way, you're going to find me in the dirt ovals and the dirt road courses. So do look out for me there if you're racing in iRacing. I do occasionally do some skip barber races as well if you are interested.
Juga good luck daripada Mychil racer gitu juga. Anda dapat menyaksikan Mychil sebentar lagi. Aku yakin dan percaya dia dekat Pro Class kan lepas ni kan?
Ya, yeah, betul. So itu dia macam Hafiz, pro di dunia sebenar dan pro juga di dalam sim racing. So a pro in the sim world and a pro in the real world of touring car racing here in Malaysia as well. It'll be interesting to see how he gets on with. But here is Hafiz Kamaruddin in the Muhammad Hafiz, Pit Jordan, as he's known to his friends there in the MSR car, going around the track as well. He is one of the leading lights in sim racing. They've been sim racing since the early 2000s, the drivers of MSR. So MSR is one of the oldest clubs involved in sim racing in Malaysia. So it's wonderful to see them out there, and they're still fairly competitive. Hafiz there in 13th position, now really putting his foot down.
Oh, nama dia special lah, Team Veteran. Team Veteran, MSR.
Boleh. Itu dia. Jom kita tengok Hanif Bohan. Mychil is my favourite social media artist in TikTok. Mychil dah masuk TikTok ke?
Okey, Samir Aizan Muhammad Nafiah juga seorang pelumba kita. Good luck Hyperboost AM. Okey, yang menariknya Mychil dia salah satu pelumba untuk pasukan Todak, dan aku rasa sebenarnya Todak banyak tim dalam iRacing pada kali ni. Ada berapa tim sebenarnya, Max?
Kalau tak silap ada 3 di dalam M dan 3 di dalam Pro.
Dia tak boleh kalau 3 kereta tu 6 pelumba buat satu race, tak boleh
Tak, itulah dia. So di dalam setiap pasukan perlu ada 2 drivers. So there's only 2 cars per team, just like in F1. And the idea is that both drivers' scores will count towards the season finale towards the end of the year. So that is going to be the interesting thing to look out for. So there are 2 driver teams, but of course Toyota Motorsports, they have a full roster of 12 drivers under their sponsorship throughout the course of the event. So they've split up into 6 amateurs and 6 professionals, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they get on. They're particularly looking quick in the pro categories.
So kepada semua pelumba, sila berjaga-jaga sebab kali ni Todak kita ada banyak pecahan pasukan. Lebih daripada 3 pasukan kalau tak silap aku.
Ya, itu dia. So sekarang, for now, let's have a look at the qualifying session there. It's 10 minutes out of 15. Well, Zikri is in first place with 115.370, with Shami Azri in second place, and Afizul Jai in third, just a couple of tenths behind. Kamal Ali is in fourth place, followed by Matthew Graham, and James Russell is in sixth, with Lloyd Lachlan in seventh, Bobby Farid in eighth, Federico Texera in ninth, and Aguri Young in 10th place.
Itu dia kedudukan terkini, tuan-tuan. Nampak gaya Jaya berada di kedudukan yang ketiga, yang mana Zikri berjaya mencatatkan masa terpantas sekarang ini 1 minit 15.370 saat. Siapa pecah enjin tu?
Siapa dia?
Siapa pecah enjin?
Oh, ya ke? So we just got word from our director there, Karan Alang, who's doing a fantastic work in the broadcasting van, just reporting there has been an engine blown. Now the trick here is that you probably will see 1 or 2 drivers blow their engines through here, because it's very difficult, especially going through turns 2 and through the S's there. You have to go across to the other side of the track, brakes, go down the gearbox as well. So if you miss shift, or if you shift too low into too low a gear, you could break the engine. So very, very demanding track for all of the racers out there.
Okey, yang mana baru menyaksikan perlombaan sebegini, untuk makluman tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, di iRacing sekiranya jentera tu bermasalah, dia sama macam race betul. Kalau ada accident, kalau ada impact, kalau enjin rosak, dia sama macam race betul. Kalau sempat repair, dia boleh repair. Kalau tak sempat repair, nampak gaya, wassalam, tak dapat meneruskan perlumbaan.
Itu dia. So the physics model in iRacing is based on real life physics. So the cars handle the way they do in real life. They brake, they stop, they go like they do in real life, and they are just as weak as they are in real life. So if you damage the car through an accident, there is a damage model that takes that into account, and you'll have to go into the pits and you have to spend the time in the pits to try and repair the car. If it takes too long to repair, you are out of the race. And even if you do manage to get back out on track, there is a good chance you'll be several laps behind. So these drivers are going to have to try and drive as clean and with as little contact as possible, because otherwise their cars could very well break.
Okay, syukran. Good luck guys. More action and more drama please. Sabar bang. Kita baru sesi qualify baru. Belum lagi race. Sabar.
Sikit lagi. So
Okay,
we have Ahmad Karul Muzamil. Woo, yeah baby. Yes indeed. So
okay,
we'll have a
12
quick
minit.
break. 12 minit lagi ya. 3 minit lagi, sorry. So while there's a quick lull in the activities before the final laps commence, all that remains for me to say right at this second is to thank our sponsors XOX Mobile, One XOX, XOX eSIM, and Estremo Oil. So thank you very much for your support of the event, and hopefully we'll be able to make this a much bigger, brighter event in the future. But for now, we seem to be having quite a lot of fun out there. Kevin Ha tu dah komen plus RM5 lagi up. What? Faiz Muhammad RM10 first turn accident. Ni apa kes ni?
Okay, minggu ni dia meriah sikit Max, sebab selain daripada pelumba, kita juga bersama dengan para penonton kita, sebab mereka ni ingin memenangi hadiah daripada One XOX. So yang mana bersama kami jangan ketinggalan walau sesaat pun, kerana mungkin jawapan kepada soalan itu ada sewaktu perlumbaan ini. So caranya senang je. Yang first kali anda perlu like, follow Facebook page One XOX, XOX Malaysia, ada Impact dan juga TKKR Racing Team. Langkah yang kedua
Ialah untuk share stream, dan share stream pada kebanyak page. So do share that stream to as many of your friends as possible, dan jangan lupakan pakai hashtag XOX Esports Challenge.
Dan langkah yang ketiga, jawab 5 soalan mudah yang akan dikemukakan semasa live nanti di bahagian komen. So bukan kami yang akan bagi soalan, soalan ni ada dekat ruangan komen. So anda tak boleh tinggalkan ruangan ini walaupun sesaat.
Ya, itu dia. So look out for the One XOX comment down below for your chance to win. There's quite a few nice things out there. But for now, let's have a quick look back at the qualification standings. James Russell is the fastest man still out on track, but Kelvin T is out there in 16th place as well. So we'll have a quick look and see where they come out in the timings. Coming across the line there, it looks like Kelvin T is not able to improve on his lap time just quite. James Russell has in fact crossed the line, and it looks like we are done. So Zikri takes the second pole position of this race. So kita ada pole position yang lain pada kali ini ya.
Oh, menarik. So pelumba ni memang pelumba yang mana bersama kita, yang mana minggu lepas. Ini juga adalah barisan line up pelumba yang bersama kita untuk perlumbaan seterusnya.
Yeah, itu dia. So we're gonna head to the grid. Zikri is on pole position, Shabi Azri is in second, and Afizul Jai is in third, with Kamal Ali in fourth and Matthew Graham in fifth. Russell and Lloyd sixth, Sharel and Bobby seventh and eighth and ninth, with Mavid Najit in 10th place. We're waiting on Surin Savaraja, we're waiting on Lloyd, Lachlan and James Russell to load up into their sims. As soon as that happens, we will be out and racing very, very shortly. You can feel the tension building. It's going to be a standing start, just like in F1. It's going to be really chaos coming into the second turn there, so you guys have to really watch out at the start of the race here. We have all the cars now loaded in. The 5 lights are about to go on. 5, 4, 3, 2, all of them are on right now, and it's go! Away they go, and it looks like at the front of the field, a little bit of a tardy start there from Zikri. He drops down to 3rd place. Afizul Jai also has a bad start there, but Russell and Lloyd are fighting there further back, 4th and 5th. Kamal Ali goes into the lead of the race for 1XOX. What a change of events there. Going into turn 1, very difficult braking zone there. It's going to be very difficult for the drivers to go through there, and there's been a crash. There's been a crash. There's been 2 crashes. There's been contact coming in the inside of the entry of turn 1 and the exit of turn 1, and really bad impact there from one of the drivers.
Okey, nampak gayanya keadaan huru-hara di itu pusing lap yang kedua.
So it looks like there won't need to be a yellow flag there because there's only a few drivers that have stopped. It looks like they've managed to clear the track there, so that's good news for tight racing. But right now, the biggest gainer in the entire field is Kamal Ali from 4th right up to 1st place. What a start.
Itu dah tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Tadi kau nak tengok drama kan? Itu dia drama kami bagi. Siapa ke tadi yang minta drama? Itu dia. Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, sekarang ni Kamali mendahului di kedudukan pertama, Azli di tempat kedua, manakala James Russell di tempat ketiga. James Russell tadi duduk belakang, sekarang ada tempat ketiga.
Itu dia, memang chaotic start pada malam ni.
Ianya mengingatkan aku dekat kita punya perlombaan MS5 yang lalu. Track yang sama dan juga situasi yang sama. First race pun dah berterabur kat depan tu.
Ya, itu dia. Muhammad Zikri yang tak dapat mengatasi pada masa start. So it's very hard to start these cars actually. The revs and the way you sidestep the clutch to try and get the car moving off the line can be a bit tricky to learn, even though this is considered the rookie car in iRacing. It is very difficult actually to start the car there. So Muhammad Zikri there just unfortunately couldn't quite manage to make that move up there, but it looks like there's been another issue around the track, and it looks like it's going to be a yellow flag.
Okey, yellow flag di pusingan yang kedua, lap yang kedua. Bendera kuning telah pun dinaikkan dan kini semua pelumba harus berada di dalam satu barisan. Tak boleh memotong antara satu sama lain. Kata selalu.
Ya, betul. So dia orang tak boleh memotong pada waktu ini. It's a full course yellow dan sekejap lagi safety car akan dikeluarkan untuk cuba mengatasi masalah itu. Tapi looks like all the way down the back end, Lloyd Lachlan, that must have been the car that got turned around at turn 2. Tough luck for him, as he's actually been here before, if I'm not mistaken. He is a resident Australian, usually quite chipper, but I'm feeling he might not be feeling the greatest right now as he heads around the circuit. Right there in 28th place, he will be able to catch up with the front runners. But Kamal Ali is in 1st place, Azri in 2nd, and James Russell is in 3rd place. Zikri is in 4th. Afizul Jai, our round 1 winner, is all the way down in 5th. Very uncharacteristic start for Afizul Jai there. Mohamed Noor there in 6th, and Bobby Farid in 7th, with Surin in 8th, Kelvin in 9th, and Federico in 10th place.
Ya, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, ini dia pusingan yang ketiga, masih lagi di dalam keadaan bendera kuning dinaikkan. Anda sedang menyaksikan XOX Challenge round yang kedua untuk sesi kelas amatur.
Itu dia. So itulah nampaknya yang keadaannya agak rumit untuk melumba di dalam situasi ini, especially with the first few corners that it can be very tricky to try and get a clean run through there. It looks like we got ourselves to lap 2 before the yellow flags came out. Not too sure what happened in the second lap there, but at the end of the day it looks like it's going to be another restart. So all the drivers will try and line up behind the safety car there, and they will be off and raring to go very, very shortly. So do stay tuned.
Dia kalau macam track Oran Park ni, aku yakin dan pasti kau mesti dah pernah berlumba kat sini kan, Max? So boleh ceritakan sikit macam mana keadaan di tar dia? Dia maksudnya lebar ke ataupun kecil sangat ke, macam mana?
Itu dia boleh dikirakan di setengah tempat tu ada juga flavor Dato' Zagor sikit, ada juga di setengah tempat lain ada flavor yang macam track MotoGP juga pun ada. So lebar dia ada variasi dia. Dia ada yang lebar yang section lebar, ada section yang narrow sikit. Tetapi yang paling susah ni adalah kebanyakan braking zone dia selepas lekor. So itulah yang keadaan yang paling susah.
Dan dia agak berbukit
Ya, itu dia. So we have a look here at Jazri Junos further behind. This must have been something that caused the initial impact. That was a big accident that we just missed on the start, but we've got the replay there, and it looks like one slight tap caused an entire field worth of domino effects to set off, and it really caused the rest of the field to come down.
Itu dia. Okey, sebentar tadi dapat kita saksikan replay insiden yang telah pun berlaku, dan sekarang ni adalah lap yang keempat, masih lagi full course yellow.
Itu dia. So cabaran pada masa sekarang, the challenge for these drivers is to try and keep the heat in the brakes and the tires. So iRacing is realistic when it comes to the tire physics as well. So it's going to be critical for these guys to try and keep the temperature in the brakes and keep the temperature in the tires in order for them to have the best possible restart. But right now it looks like the field is beginning to bunch up behind the safety car. The Porsche 911 safety car that iRacing uses all of its road courses there. And the trick now is to see when the safety car lights turn off. As soon as they go off, it's all up and running and racing again. The safety car period shouldn't last too long, considering this is quite a short track at 2.6 kilometers.
Ya, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kita tidak boleh meneruskan perlumbaan selagi safety car masih lagi mendahului kelompok hadapan. Untuk memastikan keselamatan para pelumba, kita kena pastikan betul-betul track tu clean, cantik, tiada sebarang objek atas cerita, dan baru kita benarkan perlumbaan bermula.
Yeah, itu dia. So looking at the safety car there, it looks like it's going to be one more lap before we go green. Could possibly be more, depending on when they shut off the lights at the top of the car. Can't quite see it from here, but Shabi Ashley there in second place for Just Keep Racing. The all-white cars looking very snazzy indeed. Behind Kamal Ali. So Kamal Ali scored 1 point in the previous round, but it just goes to show how difficult this sort of racing is and how close the racing is. Kamal Ali being able to drive himself all the way up to the front there and to first place. So he's going to be looking to try and gain as much of an advantage as possible from the rest of the field. It looks like the safety car lights are off, so we could be going racing very shortly.
Oh, itu dia tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kami bawakan yang terhebat, yang terpadu, yang terlaju hanya untuk anda. Anda sedang menyaksikan XOX Esports Challenge round yang kedua pada minggu ini.
Ya, itu dia. Dan rupanya memang yang antara bab yang paling susah dekat Oran Park ni, yang paling challenging juga ialah dekat section ni tak boleh nampak jalan dia. Bila kita naik dekat bukit ni, naik atas flyover ni, dia terus kena masuk ke selekor yang ke kanan ni.
Ya,
itu yang salah satu daripada challenge di Oran Park. Walaupun track dia kecil, boleh dikirakan seperti Datuk Sago ataupun Datuk Sago yang panjang sikit dan lebar sikit, tetapi dia punya layout tu memang boleh dikirakan challenging. So it's not just international circuits and Formula 1 circuits that have the best racing. Sometimes it's these clubby circuits out there in the suburbs of the world that can really do some fantastic races on.
Okay, Lloyd mana Lloyd? Ada berada dia kelompok belakang
Ya, di belakang sekali dia sudah menjumpai belakang. So nampaknya Lloyd Loughlin sudah bertemui dengan Simon Sanchez dan Jazri Junos di belakang sekali, dan Kamal Ali berada di hadapan. Nampaknya it looks like we're going to go green again. The safety car lights are out. He's going to turn right very dramatically fairly shortly. Oof, right into the right there, and it's going to be a green flag lap. Watch the lights. And it looks like the lights are out and we are gone. Green flag has gone flying and Kamal Ali is coming through there. James Russell is coming into the inside of the corner there, but they go wide. They're on cold tyres. They go wide. They manage to keep it on track. Kamal Ali manages to keep the car on the racing line, but James Russell is all over the track there. He just about manages to get back onto the track there. He had the car fully sideways into the tarmac again, really causing a few heart attacks further behind there, but towards the front of the field, Kamal Ali, he was being challenged by James Russell, but now James Russell has dropped down a little bit. Meanwhile, Azri and Zikri are now beginning to mount their challenges, as well as Surin Selvaraju, who's also managed to move himself up into 7th place, and Bobby Farid has moved himself up into 6th. So there has been quite a few movers and shakers throughout the course of this restart here. We're at lap 6 with 10 minutes gone. Kamal Ali in the lead with Azri in 2nd, Zikri in 3rd, Afizul Jai in 4th, and Noor in 5th place.
Itu dah tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, kedudukan telah pun berubah sekarang ni. Yang mana Kamal Adi berada di tempat pertama, Azri di tempat kedua, Zikri di tempat ketiga, Jai di tempat keempat, Nur di tempat kelima, Bos Bobby di tempat keenam. Dalam perlumbaan macam-macam boleh jadi. Tadi James Russell berada di kedudukan pertama, tiba-tiba membajak pula dia, membuatkan beliau ke belakang sikit, dan kini berada di kedudukan ke-9. Okey, on board bersama Jai Bluebird di kedudukan yang keempat sekarang ini.
Ya, boleh dikirakan yang James Russell dengan Kamal Ali dua-dua overshoot sikit dekat selekor pertama tu. Selekor pertama dan kedua tu memang agak bercabar, especially on cold tyres. It's very difficult to get the grip to go through turn 1, and looks like, well, Kamal Ali also left the track. James Russell left it just a little bit longer, and that meant that Kamal Ali was able to rescue it with some fantastic car control, and James Russell had to go around the outside of turn 2 on the gravel in order to try and save his race.
Itu dah Melvin Dejit Singh daripada Hyperbull Bushwaker.
Yeah, they're side by side there with Afiq Fadlan, it looks like, and Mazdi, and it looks like he was battling there with Ebdi Mazdi. Very, very challenging to try and go too wide through there, but it looks like Melvin Dejit managed to secure the position and move ahead of MD Mazdi. Now the trick is for him to try and catch the car ahead Afiq Fadlan, but trust you me, Mazdi is going to be going to be pushing very, very hard in order to try and catch the cars behind. Meanwhile, Zainul Hazim is battling with Sharil Nurfuddin.
Oh, Abang KK kita. Abang Syaril dan juga Vimal. Sekarang ini perebutan tempat ke-11 di antara Syaril, Zainul dan juga Vimal. Dan Tes Todak. Ini antara pelumba daripada pasukan Todak. Dan Tes Todak. Oh!
Dah accident yang agak besar tu. It looks like there was a big accident there with one of the cars being spun around. That's Simon Sanchez? No, that's Kelvin T. Kelvin T got turned around at the entrance into turn 2. Turn 2 looking like it's going to be causing quite a few headaches for quite a few of the drivers, not to mention the stewards later on in the race there. It looks like Kelvin either got hooked around or just lost the car under power around turn 2 there. We'll have to wait and see how that goes on. But Vimal still in 11th place fighting with Zainul.
Ini dia pelumba daripada Singapura yang bersaing hebat. Vimal dia persendirian, privateer. Apa dah jadi?
Ada lagi satu kenderaan yang sudah ada insiden di belakang tu. It looks like Shami Azri. Shami Azri was up in fighting for the leading positions there, but it looks like he's had an incident and he's now dropped right down the field there. There's another car that's come off the track, and there's another car that's come off the track as well. That is remarkable. There's all sorts of chaos happening right now. We're not too sure what's happening at the final few corners of the track there, but there looks to be 3 different spins that appear to have been caused almost 3 completely separate incidences. Not too sure what happened down there, but it looks like Aguri Yong and Mazdi and Lloyd and quite a few other drivers had to go into the pit. So quite a shame there. Quite a few drivers having some rather bizarre incidents going through the final sector of the map.
Ya, Jai pun telah pun berjaya memanjat tempat ketiga, manakala Bos Bobby berjaya naik ke tempat kelima. Dan apa dah jadi sebenarnya tadi sebab ada 2-3 pelumba terbabas. Aku tak nampak ada sebarang insiden, tapi ya mungkin ada masalah teknikal, kenderaan masing-masing ada sedikit masalah teknikal menyebabkan mereka agak perlahan di tengah-tengah perlumbaan.
Ya, mungkin ada sesuatu di atas track ataupun kondisi track sudah bertukar, sebab nampaknya macam insiden tu tiada berkaitan. It didn't look like there were 3 connected incidents. It just looked like there were 3 separate incidents there. So very, very strange indeed.
Ya, okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, sekarang ini perebutan tempat kedua yang mana Jai cuba mengejar Zikri yang berada di hadapan beliau, manakala Kamal Ali daripada XOX masih lagi kekal berada di kedudukan tempat yang pertama.
Itu dia. And Afizul Jai looks like he'll be in a good points position if he stays in third position, but he knows he'll be in a much better points position if he tries and takes second from Zikri. He can see Zikri, he can even see Kamal Ali up ahead. This could be a battle for the race win. There's going to be about 11 minutes or so left in the race, 10 minutes or so left in the race there, so do stay tuned. This is going to be a very dramatic race. Most of the drivers are still within touching distance of each other. It could all change with the drivers really still bunched up together there. It's not just a midfield battle, but there's a whole group of drivers there who are in contention for the win. James Russell there, he's in 8th position, and he's managed to recover a few places. He'll want to try and overtake as many cars as possible to try and catch up this Surin Selvaraju, who's up in 6th place, and try and get himself as high up the top 10 as he can.
Ya, betul tu. Tadi seperti tadi James Russell yang mana ketinggalan agak jauh di belakang, kini cuba mengejar kelompok di hadapan, berada di kedudukan yang ke-8 sekarang ni. Itu adalah James Russell daripada URT Green.
Itu dia, di belakang dia Afiq Fadlan, di hadapannya Zainal Hazim, so he's got two very, very fast drivers around him. And that's going to be very, very interesting to see there. So Afiq is behind him, Zainal is ahead of him. Two drivers that are very, very quick in the sim. James Russell himself, he's got a lot of real-life motorsports experience as well as quite a bit of experience racing in the AIMC series. So that's going to be quite interesting. And also Bobby and Matnur in there battling for 4th and 5th positions. This could be the battle of the race. Two drivers very well versed in the art of the dogfight, really pushing the cars as hard as you can see how hard that Noor is pushing the car through there. Bobby is also pushing the car very quickly behind him. They're getting closer and further away. This could be a battle that goes all the way to the end.
Ini dia Toki XOX beraksi. Cuba mengejar Abang Mat Norin di hadapan. Perebutan tempat yang keempat sekarang ini. Tim veteran MSR Racing.
Itu dia, tim veteran ni dah berlumba beberapa tahun, walaupun sekarang tim dia agak kecil, tapi dulu memang meriah perlumbaan MSR. So sekarang ni boleh dikirakan dia cuba menaikkan balik pasukan MSR tu. So they're trying to bring back the name MSR that's been a stalwart of sim racing since the mid-2000s.
Cuba masih lagi cuba mengejar Mak Norin di hadapan. Nampak gayanya aksi yang agak agresif dari Bobby Farid. Cuba mengejar Abang Mat Norin untuk kedudukan tempat keempat sekarang ini. Aku yakin dah pasti mungkin ada peluang lagi. Beliau boleh lagi mengejar Mat Norin yang berada di hadapannya.
Ya, dan jangan lupa Surin Sabaraju pun ada di belakang. Dan salah satu daripada pelumba yang agak laju juga daripada pasukan Toda Asia. So Toda
Surin daripada Singapura.
Yeah. So Surin Selvaraju from Singapore and Lloyd Lachlan of Australia make up the Toda Asia team. That's the expat team, if you will, of the Toda Motorsports group. Really pushing very hard there. It looked like Lloyd Lachlan was on to a winner, but unfortunately it looks like there have been some troubles with that car. It's just not seeming to drive very well. He's trying to keep that car going to try and claim that 1 point. But in the meantime, his teammate is still going very quickly up ahead in 6th place.
Apa dah jadi lock tiba-tiba slow. Mungkin ada masalah mechanical dekat jentera beliau.
Ya, mungkin kerana sebab insiden di lap yang pertama mengakibatkan kenderaan dia ada mechanical issue sikit.
Itu orang cakap main game ni adalah game, tapi jangan salah sangka sebab di dalam air racing sama seperti perlombaan sebenar. Kalau dah rosak, kalau dah ada impact, kalau kereta tu out sikit, inilah akibatnya. Mungkin boleh membuatkan kenderaan tu tidak dapat meneruskan perlombaan.
Ya, itu dia. Afizul Jai now in 3rd place, chasing after Zikri and Kamal Ali. These three drivers, the top three, still have a chance at winning the race there, but Zikri looks like he's being very conservative, just trying to match Kamal Ali move as they're going through the final sector here. They're going to go onto the start-finish straight here. There is a chance to try and pick up a little bit of drafting, but the winds are quite high today, so the drafting distances will be a little bit shorter than they were at Watkins Glen, but still there could be a chance for a slipstream overtake coming through into turn 1. So Kamal Ali through turn 1 and into turn 2. Let's see how close Zikri gets.
Itu dah tuan-tuan dan puan, lap yang ke-14. Kita berada di minit yang ke-19. Ada beberapa minit saja lagi, lebih kurang dalam 6 minit macam tu
Memang dah kira closing stages of the race right now, and Kamal Ali, it looks like Zikri is getting closer and closer. Semakin lama semakin dekat. Nampaknya Zainal Hazim terbabas di selekor yang kedua. Still at the second corner there yet again. It's another driver off at turn 2. Zainal Hazim looks like the man that had overstepped his mark a little bit, and he's still in the race there, but he's dropped a couple of positions down to 9th.
Itu dia, Oran Park bukannya satu litar yang boleh dipandang rendah. Nampak track ni memang lawa, tapi agak tricky dan mencabar.
Ya, itu dia. Afizul Jai, Zikri and Kamal Ali, every lap they're getting closer and closer to each other. This could explode in the last couple of laps of the race there. But it looks like Afizul Jai is just having a little bit of trouble trying to get the traction coming out of the final corner there, whereas Zikri tends to have the advantage under brakes and turning, which is going to help him through the first sector of the race. Now watch this going through turns 1 and turn 2. You can see there that Zikri's got the car turned in quite a lot, and he really closes up to Kamal Ali up ahead there. Kamal Ali all over the track there, right to the edge of the track, trying to keep the car going as quickly as possible. So it looks like tyre grip is going to play a big role.
Okey, untuk makluman tuan-tuan dan puan, Jai merupakan pemenang tempat pertama pada minggu lepas, dan kali ini dapatkah Jai naik podium sekali lagi, sekaligus membawa pulang hadiah wang tunai daripada penaja kita XOX.
That's right. It depends on who's going to win that 300 ringgit prize for first position. Kamal Ali, Zikri or Jai. It's all going to come down to this. The next few laps, we might go to a lap 17 or 18, or maybe even a lap 19. It's hard to tell with the pace of these drivers pushing as hard as they are. Zikri now just keep racing. He is in second place. They're starting to lap other drivers, so this could be interesting for some of the especially coming into the last couple of laps, because the lapped traffic could play a big role in how this battle turns out. But they're still all within that battle zone. The sector times are still orange.
Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, ini merupakan minit akhir sebelum perlawanan akan ditamatkan, kerana hanya ada berbaki beberapa minit saja lagi sebelum checkered flag dinaikkan, dan sebelum checkered flag dinaikkan, macam-macam boleh jadi.
Ya, betul tu. Dan nampaknya ada mungkin salah satu kejadian yang akan kita boleh saksikan. Bobby Farid mungkin ada peluang untuk memotong Nur pada malam ni ya.
Cuba memotong Abang Mat Norin daripada tim veteran.
So yang agak laju juga Mat Norin ni, di antara pelumba yang paling laju di dalam zaman R Factor dan GTR 2 dan sim-sim yang sewaktu dengannya zaman dulu. So itu dia.
Okey, kedudukan kali ini Kamal Ali berada di tempat pertama, Zikri di tempat kedua, Jai Bluebird di tempat yang ketiga, manakala Surin berada di tempat keempat, Abang Mat Norin di tempat kelima, Bos Bobby di tempat yang keenam. Man, cuba memintas dari situ.
Oh, it looks like Zikri managed to get past Kamal Ali, and Afizul Jai managed to get up to the lead. It looks like Kamal Ali made a mistake coming out of the final corner there. That has big implications as to the shape of the podium coming into the round 2 there. And a little bit of an impact there between Afizul Jai and Kamal Ali. Kamal Ali didn't quite have enough grip to slow the car down quite enough. Just a little bit of a left tap. That should be fine by most of the drivers out there. They're still pushing very hard indeed. Kamal Ali wants that win, but it looks like Zikri and Jai managed to get past at the final corner. Selekor yang paling habis tu dia dapat ya.
Itu aku cakap, selagi checkered flag tak dinaikkan, macam-macam boleh jadi. Kini Kamal Ali jatuh di tempat yang ketiga.
Yeah, and it looks like Afizul Jai, a second podium in a row for him, really will be a great news for his championship chances. This could mean that he will be able to start building up that lead and really dominating the championship from this point on. It's not just the race wins that count. All these second and third place positions really do matter in such a tightly fought championship as this. Now coming out to the final corner, let's see if Afizul Jai can hold Kamal Ali off coming into turn 1. Big slipstream. Let's see if he's able to overtake it. Looks like Kamal Ali's finally picked up that slipstream. He's going to go into the inside, going into turn 1. This could be very challenging indeed. Not a lot of space to maneuver. Coming into there, braking. Perfect racing going through there. That is 2 drivers that really know what they're doing, battling with each other. Now Jai's still in the inside line going through there. They're still side by side for almost 500 meters there. It looks like Afizul Jai just managing to keep himself up into second place, but Kamal Ali is still pushing very hard.
Last lap bye. Itu dia perebutan tempat kedua yang sangat hangat di antara Jai dan juga Kamal Ali.
Ya, betul. Nampaknya macam Kamal Ali dan Jai tu memang diorang betul-betul boleh berlumba macam setaraf pro. So they're racing like professionals. They're fantastic spatial awareness, fantastic ability to move around each other and to know where each other are, using that spotter, using those mirrors to perfection. But coming up towards the final corner there, then appears to be a lap car up ahead. Will Zikri be able to get past it? It looks like Zikri will be able to do it. Oh, and Jai's hit the wall. And that's going to give Kamal Ali the advantage. It looks like Zikri, Jai, and Kamal Ali. Jai manages to keep to second place. Zikri wins the race and Kamal Ali in third place. Wow, dramatic juga tu.
Betul, dan nampaknya Jai tidak dapat mempertahankan podium tempat pertama seperti minggu lepas. Okey, itu dah tamatlah sudah perlombaan amatur race di XOX Esports Challenge round yang kedua.
Oh, siapa tadi tu yang terlanggar dinding tadi? Belayar ke sebelah kiri. Wow. Right on the final corner, there was a car that just disappeared off into the left-hand side there. Not too sure who that was, but let's have a quick look at the standings further down the field. Surin Savaraju in 4th, Matnorin in 5th, and Bobby in 6th. Fantastic battle from the two of them. Malvidijit, Vimal and Zainal 7th, 8th and 9th, with Azrael Nazli in 10th place, just edging out Matthew Graham.
Okey, sementara itu kepada para viewers, masih ingatkan lagi tadi kita nak menawarkan hadiah daripada penaja kita. Macam mana korang nak menang hadiah-hadiah ni semua? Mudah saja. Pastikan korang stay tune daripada awal hingga habis program ni. Dan sewaktu break di antara amatur race dan juga professional race, soalan quiz akan diberikan.
Ya, itu dia. So cara dia menang, nak menang tu memang senang ya. So langkah pertama, like and follow Facebook page 1XOX, XOX Malaysia, Adrenaline Impact dan TKKR Racing Team. So like and follow those pages on Facebook, and once you've done that, share the live race with your friends, spread that sim racing love around, and then look into the chat for the third step. Answer 5 easy questions that will be posted on the live show in the comment section down below there. Answer those 5s and you will be chosen from a lucky draw in order to try and win one of these prizes.
Nanti dia kena ikut kriteria yang diberikan. Nanti jangan sebab jawapan tu dah betul, sekali lupa pula tak like dan follow, lebur, tak dapat dia. Kita ikut step dia.
Hadiah dia pun boleh tahan juga ya.
Aku berkenankan dia punya headset tu.
Ya, headset Steel Series, ada sebuah handphone Oppo Reno 4. Memang top handphone ni. Lepas tu SIM card XOX dan XOX Black yang telah dibayar untuk 2 ataupun 3 bulan. So Oppo Reno 4, you're going to get that with free 6 months plan, Steel Series gaming headset, a 3 months free 1XOX plan, as well as it's an XOX Black plan, as well as a new SIM card with 10 gigabytes of high-speed data for 5 lucky winners. So do stay tuned, do share this stream and like all of those pages, and you could be in with a chance to win some fantastic prizes.
Hadiah-hadiah yang sangat menarik. Oppo Reno 4. Kalau rezeki aku pada malam ni. Tapi aku tak boleh lah. Aku tengah buat komentator. Kalau tidak, macam mana aku nak menjawab soalan tu?
Betul.
Okay, kami...
Okay, so do stay tuned. During the course of the break, the first question is going to be down there in the comment section below, right there. So do stay tuned for when that question comes out. But for now, we're going to have a quick break. break. Kita berhenti untuk 15 minit sekejap ya, Bob. Tapi sebentar lagi tu soalan pertama akan keluar.
Okey, rasa kasih mari. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks to Kitab Airtel for the likes, Leon Moon 5 for the share, and thanks to our sponsors XOX Mobile, 1XOX, XOX eSIM, and Streamo Oils of Italy. We will be back with the pro race right after this, so do stay tuned. We'll be back. And we're back. Welcome back to the XOX Esports Challenge. I'm your host for this evening, Matthew Palmer. With me is Encik Bob.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, itu dia. Ada juga banyak entry yang masuk ke dalam kita punya viewers giveaway tu. Nampaknya macam menarik juga. Dan terima kasih kepada Muhammad Joaad Rizki, Muhammad Zikri pun like juga. Terima kasih. Memang boleh dikirakan istimewa jugalah race M tu pada malam ni.
Ya. Dan hari ni ada agak menarik sebab kita ada handphone, kita ada gaming headset, kita ada SIM card. Terima kasih kepada penanya kita pada minggu ini.
Yeah. So thank you all for entering. There's still going to be chances to enter, so do stay tuned till the end of the broadcast. Then follow the on-screen prompts in the chat there for your chance to win and claim the prize there. XOX Esports Challenge Round 2 at Oran Park Raceway here. These are the giveaway prizes. Oppo Reno 4 going to one lucky winner. Steel Series Gaming headset as well as some SIM cards there. The One XOX Black and the One XOX SIM cards and packages as well. So itulah One XOX Black tu pun menarik juga. 3 bulan percuma.
3 bulan baik. Lepas tu internet pantas lah tu.
Ya, internet pantas dan plan dia pun berpatutan. Dan yang unik dengan plan dia, Bob, kalau kita ada baki data ataupun talk time ataupun SMS yang kita tak dapat habiskan, dia tak akan bakar. Burn proof. So, kita boleh tarik ke depan, ke minggu depan ataupun bulan depan. So memang berpatutan jugalah tu.
Okey, sementara tu Max, kita minta jasa baik tuan-tuan dan puan-puan yang baru menyaksikan siaran langsung ini, tolong minta jasa baik, tolong like dan juga share live streaming ini di laman sosial tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Untuk makluman tuan-tuan, saya daripada Facebook, kita juga bersiaran di beberapa page dan juga YouTube.
Yeah, that's right. So we are going to be broadcasting not only on Facebook, on quite a few pages there, but we'll also be broadcasting on YouTube. So do remember to like our Facebook pages and the Facebook pages of all the others involved in this competition, namely the One XOX page, XOX Malaysia, Adrenaline Impact, and the TKKR racing team, and share the stream with all your friends. Spread that sim racing love around, and hit it with the hashtag XOX Esports Challenge. And once you do that, you can answer those 5 questions in the chat down below, and you could stand a chance to win an Oppo Reno 4 Steel Series headset or a few very, very attractive plans from XOX.
Okey, terima kasih kepada pengkongsi dan juga penglikers. Sebenarnya banyak, tapi tak sempat nak bacakan nama satu-satu bang. Ramai bang.
Itu dia. Okay, so we're going to have a look at the last race's results there. Round 1 for the pro class. Miko Nasi wins the race from Dominic Ang with Ilham Halabi in 3rd position. Saiful Arifin in 4th place with Taki in 5th, Tukur Izan in 6th, Jazwin Jali in 7th, Nazmi Mazli in 8th, Muhammad Ibrahim in 9th, and Muhammad Iman Danish in 10th place. A real shame there for Ibrahim. He got himself a 15-second penalty which dropped him off from the front of the field, but he will be looking to make amends this evening. Trust you me, he has the ability to win the race, and it's be very interesting to see how he gets on with the challenge. But Miko Nasi is now at the front of the field with Dominic Ang and Ilham Halabi very close behind.
Ini antara perlombaan yang sangat hebat, sangat panas, sangat kontroversi minggu lepas.
Ya, betul.
Tuan-tuan, ini dia keputusan pro kelas pada minggu lepas. Miko Nasi berada di tempat pertama, Dominic Ang tempat ketiga, Ilham Halabi tempat ketiga, Saiful Arifin tempat keempat, M Taki tempat kelima, Tengku Izan Lee, adik Tukan Jan Lee tempat keenam, Jazrin Jali tempat ketujuh, Nazmi Mazli tempat ke-8, Muhammad Ibrahim di tempat ke-9, Muhammad Iman Danish tempat ke-10. Minggu lepas Max, ya Allah, panas.
Itu dia, dan mungkin lepas ni akan semakin panas lagi. Azril Nazli in the comment section, Oran Park sentiasa drama. So very dramatic stuff there from Azril Nazli, warning the competitors out there. It could get very, very dramatic coming into turn 1 there. We know these guys really don't want to give up coming into turn 1, and especially turn 2. We could see some action in the next race.
Betul. Aku setuju dengan Azril Nazri alias Oran Park ni track dia cantik, lawa kalau tengok daripada visual, tapi sentiasa ada drama.
Memang boleh dikirakan ada gigi. So we
Okay.
have a quick look at the Pro Class team standings. Full Focus Racing and Todak Racing are tied for the lead, 27 points each. This is where the battle is really hotting up for the competitors there. Full Focus Racing and Todak Racing both tied in first position. URT Red is in third with 19 points. Todak Revolution is in fourth place with 10th. URT Pink, Outer House, FCL Performance and Paduan SRCA with Hyperbulls Taurus rounding out the field.
Okey, seperti tadi kita menyaksikan kelas amatur, kini kami bawakan kepada anda yang terpadu, yang terlaju, yang terhebat. Ini dia Pro Class Team Standing. Kita ada Full Focus Racing, Todak Racing, URT Red, Todak Revolution, URT Pink, Auto House, FCR Performance, Padawan SRC dan banyak lagi.
Itu dia. Terima kasih kepada Jan Wong yang sudi membagi 50 star. So thank you very much Jan Wong for those 50 stars. We're glad that you appreciate the stream and we hope to see you out there. So kita ada berita sikit daripada Azril Nazli. So last 5 lap tu tyre dah overheated dan confirm menjanjikan banyak drama bila pelumba gagal kawal pace dan race line. So it looks like from our resident expert there, Azril Nazli, there's going to be some tire degradation issues for some of the drivers out there. They're going to really have to look after their tires in order to try and not only to get the best performance out of them, but to also be able to hold the racing line as they're going through that first sector.
Itu dia tuan-tuan dan puan yang baru menyaksikan sekarang ini anda sedang menyaksikan XOX Esports Challenge 2020 dan yang mana baru menyaksikan mehlah like dan juga share live streaming di wall anda.
Ya, nampaknya macam memang cerita pada malam. The story of tonight is going to be that battle between Full Focus Racing and Todak Racing for the top step of the field. We still don't have a leader in the team standings in Pro, so this is really where the biggest amount of drama is going to be. Full Focus Racing dan Todak Racing serasi 27 poin sebiji tu. Memang dekat ya.
Ya, kita cerita sikit lah minggu lepas persaingan hebat, dua kereta Full Focus Racing dan juga dua pelumba Todak Racing Team saling bertukar-tukar posisi. Macam apa chessmate?
Ya, chess match. Ya. Itu dia orang berlawan tapi last tu sekali tu mungkin ada sedikit mistake daripada salah satu daripada Full Focus Racing yang bagi ruang untuk Dominic Ang dan URT Red ke hadapan. So the Full Focus Racing, the Todak Racing guys were battling door to door, all four cars battling all the way throughout the course of the race, but in the end, after a very contentious last sector of the lap, on the last lap of the race, Dominic Ang did manage to squeeze in that podium position for URT Red, coming up there and bringing the total for URT Red to 19 points.
Dan mungkinkah kita dapat menyaksikan lagi perlombaan macam minggu lepas? Minggu lepas perlombaan untuk kategori Pro Class memang sangat-sangat agresif, sangat-sangat hebat.
Ya, itu dia. Azril Nazli, main kamera tu cuma tunjuk point saja dia. Sekejap lagi kita akan pergi dekat track. Kita kena cucuk.
Sekejap.
So itu dia. Tu pun. Mungkin cameraman tu dah terbangun. Azril Nazli dah. So right now it's the practice session and Iman Danish is the fastest man out on track with Mikun Lassi in second place and Wicket in third. But Ibrahim's just gone quicker with 113.780. Nampaknya memang pada kali ini Pro Class memang lagi laju lagi hangat daripada M Class pada hari ini.
Okey, diorang dah praktis dah lebih daripada 40 minit rupanya. Patutlah abang tadi kata apa ni kamera duk fokus kat steering point dia. Sorry bang.
Masa kita baca pasal points tu, diorang tengah praktis lagi sebelum perlumbaan yang dulu tu habis pun diorang dah mula praktis.
Ya, sebab perlumbaan ni rare match sebab kita cuma boleh tengok perlumbaan ni setiap hari Ahad je. Dia nak lepaskan peluang-peluang yang yelah bukan senang nak tengok diorang berlumba kan.
Ya, betul, itu dia. Azril Nazri pun dia pun mengaku tak sabar ni. Patutlah.
Tapi kita pun ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada para penaja kita kerana menaja perlumbaan seperti ini.
Itu dia. Aznas pun ada point yang agak bagus tu. Amateur 1 minit 15 balik laju. Pro memang pro 1.14 dan 1.13. Ya betul tu. So right now we have a look at the standings through the course of the practice session there, and it looks like Ibrahim has managed a 1:30.780 with Danish Iman in second place 1:13.9. The two drivers in the 13s there. Miko Nasi is in third place, followed by Wicked Law, Shami Aizan, Nigel Chua, Tuku Ezan, who's just gone up to 5th place. Dominic Ang is in 8th, Pang is in 9th place, and Jasmine Jelly rounds out the top 10.
Alien 1 minit 13 saat Alien
Itu dia. Menyeramkan. Just for reference, although these MX-5s aren't exactly my kind of driving, I like to think that I can drive these cars relatively quickly, but I was only able to get the car down to 117 or 118 after hours and hours and hours of practice. So it really just goes to show how quick these guys are going as compared to your average sim racer. They're pushing as hard as they can in order to be right up there at the top of the field. What is also the difference between the AM and the Pro, of course, is that the AM guys are running a full spec car with spec setup and everything else. These guys are allowed to change a few details in the suspension setup to get it feeling the way they want it to. So they have an open setup. They can run their own fuel levels as well. So it'll be interesting to see who's got the better setup throughout the course of the race.
Okey, untuk makluman tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, berbeza dengan kelas amatur sebentar tadi, untuk sesi pro class dekat sini modifikasi dibenarkan. Betul Rex?
Ya, modifikasi setting di camber, caster, tow, tuning kereta yang dia boleh adjust.
So berbeza dengan amatur, pro class ni ialah nama pun pro kan. So kita ada berikan kelonggaran, dan juga kelebihan adalah kepada pemandu yang skillful dan juga pemandu yang pandai untuk setup kereta.
Itu dia, itu yang penting pada track Oran Park ni juga, sebab setup ni boleh mendapatkan dalam lingkaran 1 ataupun 1.5 saat bezanya daripada kereta yang tidak di setup. Ada satu incident there. Looks like Faiz there really on the limit. It's a good thing he's trying out the limits right now. He spun the car coming out of the corner there. That just shows how difficult the track is. When you're really pushing at the edge of the grip at the absolute limit of adhesion, the car will slide out over that corner. And if you're not quick enough with your hands to try and correct the slide, it's going to be very, very difficult indeed to recover.
Itu dah tuan-tuan. Sedikit masa lagi akan tamat sesi praktis, dan kita akan menyaksikan pahlawan-pahlawan kelajuan kita beraksi. So kepada semua, jangan ke mana-mana, saksikan perlumbaan untuk sesi Pro Class.
Itu dia. Ruben Wong is right now on track in 10th place. He's a very quick driver around Sepang circuit in real life in the touring cars, and he's also really proving his worth there. A top 10 time is rarefied air at this point in time, so it's really very, very difficult indeed to try and push any faster than that. But it just goes to show the majority of the drivers, over 20 cars, are in the 114s right now, and the entire field is covered by less than 3 seconds. Spectacular levels of driving ability on display here. So itu dia, kita ada
itu dia tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Hanya yang terpadu, hanya terhebat, hanya yang terlaju kami bawakan khas untuk anda.
Jadi kita masuk ke dalam sesi kelayakan. We're into the qualifying session, so fairly soon the drivers go out and do their warm-up laps and begin their qualifying runs. Tapi kita ada informasi sikit daripada Azril Nazli pasal setup ni. Agak interesting juga ya. So boleh dikirakan setup amateur tu, kereta tu understeer sikit ataupun dia susah sikit nak pusing masuk ke dalam seleko, tetapi kalau pro dia boleh adjust ikut suka hati, macam rempah rasa lah. So now going on board with Miko Nasi going through this section here. This is one of the hardest, trickiest sections of the lap to try and get right. Very, very hard to try and clip this apex here because it's completely blind coming into the corner, coming out towards the exit. But here is where the time is made or lost through these high-speed S's and kinks. Very, very difficult to try and get the car turned in through here. You almost have to clip the grass to try and get the car to turn in enough. Then through here you have to straight line the corner. Again, you cannot see the left-hand bend that's over the hill. before coming down into this braking zone. Again, no runoff area here. He's going to try and push it as hard as he can. He's going for a very unique racing line there. Very late entry, but still runs the car right up to the edge of the track. This could be a very quick time for Mikonasi very shortly indeed. But now he starts his first lap and all the other drivers will begin their first lap. Now do keep in mind that the drivers might take 2 warm-up laps in order to get themselves up to speed before they push for their qualifying time. So sekarang kita boleh dikirakan dalam fasa warm-up lagi lah.
Okey, untuk makluman tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, Mikonasi merupakan pemenang tempat pertama juara kita minggu lepas. Mikonasi pelumba daripada mana ya?
Daripada Finland tapi sekarang bertetap di Singapura.
Tu dia specialnya iRacing ni, kita bukan saja bersaing hebat dengan pelumba di dalam negara, malah dengan pelumba di luar negara juga. Itu special dia.
Ya, kita ada pelumba daripada Malaysia, Singapura, daripada Hong Kong dan daripada Macau juga, dan ada, kalau tak silap, ada juga pelumba daripada Brunei juga. So serantau Asia, dan harap nanti kita boleh menjemputi lagi banyak pelumba daripada serantau Asia memasuki ke dalam competition ni. So that just goes to show this championship isn't just a Malaysian championship, but there's drivers from all over the region. We've got drivers from Australia, from Hong Kong, from Macau, from Singapore, and from Brunei, as well as from Malaysia. So very, very special stuff indeed. I think we also have some drivers that were from further afield, but they have made Asia their home and are competing with us this evening as well. So now the first time Mikonasi, Iman Danish goes quicker than Mikonasi. This is when the times begin to fall very, very quickly.
Rakan komentator saya ni daripada mana? Rakan komentator saya daripada mana? Bersiaran daripada mana?
Saya bersiaran di Putra Heights, Selangor.
Oh, Putra Heights. Okay.
So Encik Bob pula dari mana?
Saya daripada Kuala Kangsar, Perak. Pelik kan?
Itu sebab, dia studio kami pun boleh dikirakan agak besar, dalam lingkaran 300 km di lebarnya.
Kawan aku siap pelik, dia cakap, Bob, kau duduk kat mana tu, kata kan. Sebab yelah kat Kuala Kangsar aku punya line internet aku pun tak berapa cun. So kita mengharapkan pihak-pihak yang berkaitan tu kalau boleh, yelah perkhidmatan jalur lebar kita ni kalau boleh kita nak perbaikkan di seluruh negara. Sebab
nanti kita minta bos Bobby hantar SIM card XOX tu. Line dia bagus tu.
Laju lagi.
Tu dia.
Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, ini dia sesi qualifying masih lagi berlangsung dan anda sedang menyaksikan kategori Pro di XOX Esports Challenge round yang kedua.
Ya, itu dia. Sekarang Muhammad Ibrahim sekarang di tempat yang pertama dan Mikonasi di tempat yang kedua, tapi Chok Pang di tempat yang ketiga agak laju. Dia memang he really has brought up his skill set quite a bit. We remember Chok Pang from the previous rounds of the AIMC. He's really brought the game on this time around. He's up into third place. Tuko Ezan is in fourth with Iman Danish in fifth. Keep your eye out on Iman Danish. He has managed a 1:13 lap time in practice. He could do it again. Nigel Chua is in sixth place, ever the steady driver there. He could be looking to try and get some good races in. Dominic Ang is in seventh place with Azam in ninth there. So it looks like Ibrahim first.
Okey, komen daripada pelumba rally Malaysia kita, Faizal Alang. Encik Bob, tukar line anda ke XOX, teman buatkan. Betul, baik. Aku rasa lepas ni aku nak jumpa Faizal Alang. Boy, tolong tukarkan nombor aku, tukarkan kepada XOX. Sebab yelah speednya laju kan. Di sekitar Perak yang mana ingin mendapatkan line XOX, anda boleh berhubung dengan Faizal Alang, pelumba rally Malaysia kita.
Itu dia. So antara salah satu daripada boleh dikirakan selebriti sukan pemotoran negara ni pun juga jadi wakil XOX. So bagus juga tu.
Iqbal Suji kat Kuala tu dekat dengan Masjid Udah ke? Saya bersiaran daripada Kuala Kangsar. So line internet saya tu agak kurang sikit.
Kita kena buat pencawang baru lah. Yang dekat sikit dengan engine bomb. So yang Azril Nasir pun dia ada tulis ke, dan jadikan sim racing too affordable untuk semua orang, ataupun XOX buat sim center di setiap negeri. Kita boleh buat proposal ni, Bob. Mana tahu kan. So that's going to be interesting. So that's going to be an interesting little tidbit there. Perhaps sim racing centers in the real world, so that you can go down and test that out. Let us know what you think of that idea, because that seems to be a very, very interesting one. Tengku. Okay, so we've just gotten word. We've had a lot of stars coming in this evening. I'm sorry we weren't able to catch them all in the little box down the corner there. But thank you very much to all of you who have given us stars, donated us stars throughout the course of this evening. Thanks a lot. We're glad that you appreciate the broadcast and appreciate the stream. We appreciate your company, and thank you very, very much.
Okay, thank you for the star. Thank you for the star. Kalau orang Perak cakap terima kasih. Tunggu insight. Wah, Max glowing macam pengantin baru lah. Betul, Max? Glowing.
Lighting ada adjust sikit lah. Tu je. TV magic. So right now at the 7-minute mark, we're about halfway through the session, and Muhammad Ibrahim is still in first position with Miko Nasi in second and Iman Danish in third place. It looks like the battle is about to heat up quite a bit there. Of course, in qualifying session you have a lot more of that tension building up there. Jagjivan Singh did ask where KSS is. That's your man there, Kilpinder Singh. Now in 16th position, he'll be pushing hard to try and get further up the field. We know he has the pace, he just needs to get out there and do it. The go shot pula, Encik Bob, glowing macam kau. Max pun
okay, baru nak cakap, selain daripada saya, Max pun orang Perak ke ni?
Ya,
orang putih Perak, orang kopi.
Iya, itu dia. So memang boleh dikatakan daripada the Silver State. Kalau nak bagi nama orang putih dia zaman dulu. Ilham Halabi di tempat yang 11 sekarang.
Okay, kita sekarang on board bersama Ilham Halabi. Tadi dah qualify. Ini qualify yang baru ke macam mana, Max?
Ni sekarang kualifikasi. Sesi kualifikasi belum lagi dihabiskan. Sebentar lagi. Ilham Halabi adalah salah satu daripada pelumba yang boleh dikirakan agak laju. Dia benar bersaing untuk tempat yang pertama. So Ilham has been battling for the lead of the race, but it looks like he just got the car sideways there on the gravel. He'll have to go for another lap. He's down in 11th place there, quite slow comparison to the leading drivers there. So he's really going to have to put his foot down hard and try and push for that team. Now yeah. Now we have Muhammad Afif, aka Taichi Yagami, one of the fastest Assetto Corsa drivers making the switch into iRacing. They're going for a lap of the track. So let's go on board with Afif as he goes through turn 1 here. Very tricky braking zone coming into the end of the braking zone here. He has to brake in a dead straight line before he can turn the car into turn 2. This is going to be the trouble spot on the track. Very, very difficult stuff indeed. Now this short straight gets us to turn 3, 4 and 5. They've gone underneath the flyover. They'll soon go over the flyover as well. Turn 4 is very difficult because it's got this in camber. The car drops into the corner there and it gets upset a little bit. You can see the car rocking as it goes through the corner there. Now turn 5 and turn 6 very difficult because they're almost blind going through the crest here, and now he's got to just tap the brakes going over this crest here to try and settle the car and turn right before heading towards the left. Now the braking zone here is very tricky. It's very deceptive. The car goes downhill then uphill again. A lot of weight transfer as you go through the corner here, and using all of that road on the exit. Now he's got to try and straight line the chicane. He cannot see the next corner until he is on it, so he has to know where to aim the car. And now the final corner, very, very tricky here. He has to keep the car in as long as possible and then use all of the track and try and get to as close to the wall as possible. Let's see what time Muhammad Afif has managed to clock.
Muhammad Afif 1.16. 1.15.
115.152. 115.152 for Muhammad Hafiz. That is his fastest lap time. So far, Ilham Labi has managed to get himself all the way up into third place. So Ilham Labi was down in 11th, but he's finally managed to get that car working the way he wants it. And now he's got himself up into third place. Now, Taki was a very, very quick driver previously. He's now gone into the 114s as well. As you can see, from third place all the way down to 16th place. That's what, 13 drivers in the 14s. A lot of drivers right up there at the sharp end of the field. This could be a very, very close and very exciting race.
Ya, pastinya. Yang terpadu, yang terlaju, yang terhebat kami bawakan kepada anda. Dan sekarang ni yang terlaju sekarang ni Muhammad Ibrahim 1.13.
Ya, itu dia, boleh kira laju juga tu. Mungkin dalam kategori yang paling atas pun mungkin tak dapat lap time tu.
Macam minggu lepas mereka berikan kita perlumbaan yang sangat hebat, yang sangat menarik, dan aku yakin dan pasti malam ni pun bakal kita disajikan dengan perlumbaan yang sangat menarik lagi. Sebab tengokkan timing dia, beliau berjaya mencatatkan catatan yang terpantas sekarang ini.
Itu dia. As well as dia ada tips untuk siapa-siapa yang nak memasuki dunia iRacing dan perlumbaan sim pada malam ni. So tips untuk subscribe kepada iRacing, gunakan Steam, dan sebab Steam murah, boleh dapatkan package subscription 169 setahun. Boleh pakai sebanyak yang diperlukan.
Itu
Malvin
tips
Malvin tu pun Go Hyperbulls. Hyperbulls ialah lagi satu pasukan yang ada banyak member juga dalam tu. There's a lot of drivers racing for Hyperbulls this time around, so it'll be very interesting to see how they get along with it.
Ya, Faizal Alam, power coffee pop. Ya, betang-betang lah pagi tadi breakfast tak ajak. Sekarang ni demo berjalan bukan nak ajak.
Itulah. Tak apalah. Nanti bila aku balik kampung nanti kita boleh belah kopi. Rizwan Ani, thank you for the like, and Aisha Mazri, thanks for the follow. Thanks to all of you guys who've been liking, following, and sharing the streams. So do hit that like button down below whilst you leave the comments in the comments section, and while you do that, share that stream around. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button to our YouTube and Facebook pages, and share that sim racing love around.
Okey, on board bersama Freddy Ang. Freddy Ang berjaya mencatatkan masa 1 minit 14.813 saat di kedudukan yang ke-12 terpantas sekarang ini di dalam kategori Pro Class.
Ya, itu dia. Kita boleh tengok Freddy Ang yang memang daripada dunia perlumbaan sebenar. From the real racing world, you can see how smooth Freddy is with the car. Not really fighting the car, just running it out towards the edge. Very nice driving style to watch, and a very smooth and simple driving style that really manages to get the results out of the car. Just goes to show that you can take the real life racing experience and translate it to the sim racing world quite a bit, but you can get any closer to the wall. Yikes.
Tapi kalau di dalam dunia perlumbaan sebenar, dia gunakan decal Hello Kitty tu tak, Max?
Itu saya tak tentu.
Aku tengok comel dia punya decal dia tu.
Kalau tak silap aku tu Teguh Ezan yang suruh dia pasang tu. So Saifur Arafin's all the way down in 23rd place. It looks like he might not be able to get out in time to do a qualifying lap to try and get himself up into the top of the field. This could be dramatic news. It looks like Saifur Arifin is not able to try and get up towards the front of the field. He is now down in 23rd position. The checker flag is out, and Muhammad Ibrahim takes his second pole of the season here at the XOX Esports Challenge. Okay, for those of you who want to participate in the giveaway challenges, the comments are pinned to the comment section down below, so do read those and give us your answers as soon as you share, like, and subscribe. So now Ilham Labi is on pole position. We're waiting for all the drivers to come in there. It looks like Ibrahim and Miko. Now Ibrahim, who is on the actual pole position there, as well as Ibrahim up ahead. Let's just see if he pops in very, very shortly. Yes, there he is. There's a couple of other drivers. Muhammad Afif, aka Taichi, we are waiting for before the start of the race. As soon as all the drivers are on the grid, you will see the 5 red lights, and we will be going for 25 minutes around Oran Park. This is going to be dramatic stuff here as the racers get ready. The tension's building, the nerves are beginning to build up. It's going to be a standing start, just like in Grand Prix racing. The start line is going to be critical in whether you can get a clean run into turn 2 or if you're going to have a little bit of trouble there. That's your pole position man, Muhammad Ibrahim there up in first place. Miko Nafsi, the previous round's winner, is in second place. Ilham Hlabi is down in third position. This is going to be some very, very tense racing coming right at you in a few moments' time.
Okay, pada minggu ini dapat kita saksikan Iman Danish berada di kelompok hadapan, berada di belakang Full Focus Racing, dan juga Samir juga berada di tempat kelima, abang pilot kita. Nampak gayanya minggu ni berada di kelompok hadapan
Ya, mungkin ada pelumba yang akan menang. Ya, pelumba baru yang akan menang pada malam ni.
Dan yang mengejutkan aku, kali ini Saiful berada di kelompok belakang.
Yeah, so that's going to be the 5 red lights beginning to come on. Saiful at the back of the field, Ibrahim at the front of the field, and it's go. And there's been quite a good start there from the pole position man, Ibrahim. Miko manages to cover off the second place positions, whilst the drivers beginning to come in. They're 2 wide, 3 wide coming into turn 1. This could be very dramatic stuff indeed for the racing. The track narrows down quite a bit as it goes through this first corner there, but it looks to be very clean indeed going through the corner. There we've got cars 2 wide, 3 wide, 4 wide almost, and there's one car that spun off there that looks like to be one of the purple URT cars there, but it looks like a clean start to the race there going to turn 3. And there's a big impact there in turn 3. There's a big impact there, and it looks like Tuku Ezan in the previous corner to this one, which Ibrahim's going through now in turn 3. There was a big impact there, and it looks like quite a few drivers have caught themselves up in a bit of a snafu there. Tuku Ezan looks like the man that was in the middle of that melee, but they have managed to get themselves going again, and it's a clean start regardless. Chofon Pang there, there's a lot of bumping and riding around in the back of the field there. Chofon Pang really has dropped back to quite far back in comparison to his practice pace, but he'll be trying his hardest to try and get that car. There's got a little bit of damage on it. He might have to really work extra hard in order to try and push through. Saiful Arifin tries to go up the inside. He's desperate to try and get a few places up there. He almost managed to get an overtaking maneuver done there, but didn't quite have the space to make that work. Meanwhile, Kevin Ha is about to line up a pass. Nazmi has already lined up a pass, and it's going to be all over the place for these drivers going past Chofon Pang there. There's a lot of damage on that car, isn't there?
Itu dia, seperti yang aku jangkakan, ProRace ni memberikan kita satu persembahan yang sangat hebat, sangat mengujakan. Dapat kita saksikan tadi ada sedikit aksi B2B, bukannya body to body, tapi aksi bumper to bumper, dan akan tetapi masih lagi dapat diteruskan, berbeza dengan sesi amatur sebentar tadi yang mana checker flag, yellow flag dinaikkan, dan di dalam sesi ProRace kali ini masih lagi berjaya dilangsungkan perlumbaan tanpa ada bendera kuning dinaikkan.
Ya, itu dia. Jom kita saksikan. Let's have a look at Wicked Low, who is just ahead of his teammate Akid Basram. This is the one XOX TKKR Racing Team A, the pro level team that's up ahead at the front of the field right now, battling away in 14th and 15th place. Their next target is going to be Lim up ahead, who's going to be really trying their hardest to keep him behind. That's Aaron Lim, I believe, one of our real life racing drivers that's competing against these sim racing boys as well. But it looks like Afif had to go into the pits there. Iman Danish, meanwhile, he's still in 4th place, just behind the top 3 right now. So now as we enter lap 3, the standings are as follows. Muhammad Ibrahim is in 1st position with Miko Nasi in 2nd, Ilham Habi is in 3rd, Iman Danish in 4th, Syamik Aizan in 5th, Dominic Ang in 6th place, Ruben Wong in 7th, Nigel is in 8th place with Taki in 9th and Khalif in 10th.
Dan untuk makluman anda, pelumba kita yang berada di kedudukan keempat, Iman Danish adalah merupakan antara pelumba yang paling muda di dalam perlumbaan kita pada kali ini. Berapa umur dia, Max?
Kalau tak silap saya, dalam umur 14 tahun sahaja. Mungkin 15 tahun kalau hujung tahun ni.
Mempunyai satu skill yang sangat hebat, berjaya mengendalikan jenteranya dan kekal berada di kedudukan yang keempat sekarang ni.
Ya, mungkin dia ada bakat untuk masuki dalam perlumbaan dunia sebenar kalau dia keep practice. If he keeps practicing in the sim racing rig, who knows, we might see Iman Danish's name in a few real life racing events. With the level of talent that he's got here, it could be a very, very wise move to get to racing.
Okey, sementara itu kedudukan tempat pertama dan juga tempat kedua kelompok halapan dikonquer oleh pasukan Full Focus Racing, iaitu Muhammad Ibrahim dan juga Miko Nasi, manakala Ilham Halabi dari tim Todak Motorsport tidak ingin memberikan laluan mudah kepada mereka dan juga masih lagi mengasak.
Ya, itu dia. Aaron Lim there when URT Black, an ex-A1GP driver, really pushing and hustling around the back of the field. Well, not the back of the field, but in the middle of the field with Khalif and Kelvinda. This could be a battle that will go on for quite some time. There's a lot of drivers behind Aaron Lim as well. This is looking to be the classic adrenaline impact midfield battle that we've enjoyed all throughout the months of racing we've had here in iRacing. This is spectacular stuff indeed. You're going to see a lot of action coming up right now through that field there. But right now, Aaron Lim has only one objective up ahead, and that is to get past Muhammad Khalif.
Okey, memasuki pusingan yang kelima dan kini kedudukan masih lagi tidak berubah, yang mana Muhammad Ibrahim dan juga Miko berada di kedudukan pertama dan juga kedua, dan juga Ilham Halabi masih lagi daripada Todak Motorsport masih lagi cuba memintas Miko Nasi di tempat yang kedua.
Yeah, itu dia. Saiful Arifin, meanwhile, he is trying desperately hard to try and climb back up the field. Remember, he ran out of time and had to start the race in 24th position. Now he's up to 16th place and really pushing hard to try and gain back. He's almost past 10 cars at the moment. Now he's going to try and pass a few more. He's battling with Kavinder Singh at the moment, trying to go around the outside, not quite working out for him, but in the next few corners he'll really be desperate to try and get past Kavinder and try and bridge that gap to the cars up ahead.
Ini dia bezanya kelas amatur dan juga kelas pro, tuan-tuan, yang dapat kita saksikan di dalam kelas pro, kelas kali ini. Perlumbaan sangat hebat di antara para pelumba.
Ya, itu dia. Ilham Halabi pun dalam salah satu pelumba yang memang ada level of experience yang tinggi. So Ilham Halabi is one of the most experienced drivers out there on the field. He's been racing since 2008. So 2008 dia mula dengan sim racing. So memang agak berbakat juga dan berpengalaman jugalah di dalam perlumbaan sim ni.
Okey, untuk minggu ni, Max, nampaknya gayanya macam ada persamaan lah. Macam minggu lepas, Full Focus diapit rapat oleh salah satu daripada tim Todak. Sama juga untuk minggu ni, juga diapit rapat oleh salah satu tim daripada pasukan Todak.
Ya, walaupun track dia sama dan kereta dia track dia lain dan keadaan dia lain, tetapi nampaknya macam kita punya main actors masih sama. So our main stars are still the same here. It looks like it's going to be yet another battle between Ibrahim, Miko and Ilham in the top three. The only difference we've had is that due to the mistake in qualifying, Saiful Arifin is unable to join them in the battle just yet. He's still having to fight his way through the field. But Ibrahim, Miko and Ilham are now battling first, second and third. And now Iman Danish is 3.2 seconds behind, holding down fourth place.
So di dalam perlombaan seperti ini dapat kita saksikan apabila rakan sepasukan berada hampir dengan kita, taktik dan juga strategi memainkan peranan. Itu dah Ilham Halabi baru saja memintas Miko Nasi yang berada di tempat yang kedua sebentar tadi. Dan kini kedudukan telah pun berubah. Ilham Halabi berada di belakang Muhammad Ibrahim pula.
Tetapi Ilham Halabi tak dapat mendapatkan posisi itu. He didn't quite get that position done. He was halfway through passing Miko Nasi there around the outside. That was a brave move there from Ilham Halabi. He's going to try again around the outside of Miko Nasi, but not quite able to work. Miko there just slowing down the corner as much as he can, parking the car in the middle of the apex as he goes around the corner there, just to make sure that Ilham doesn't have the ability to try and overtake. Let's see where else Ilham Halabi can try and make an overtaking maneuver. Will he be able to get past in the next lap?
sama macam minggu lepas, bye, saling bertukar-tukar posisi. Tadi Ilham telah pun berjaya memintas Miko Nasi dan kini Miko Nasi berjaya memintas Ilham Halabi kembali. Dan kini Miko Nasi harus berhati-hati kerana Ilham Halabi akan cuba memintas bila-bila masa apabila Miko Nasi membuat sedikit kesilapan.
Ya, betul tu, dan nampaknya macam mungkin ada peluang di dalam main straight ni. There might be another chance for an overtaking maneuver here on the main straight. Ilham Labi there tailing Miko Nasi very close behind, but it looks like Miko just manages to get that extra advantage coming out of the corner there, which is making Ilham's life very difficult when it comes to trying to overtake. Now they're beginning to come across some lap traffic as well, so this could play a very, very crucial part in this race. So watching out there, what's definitely played into Ibrahim's hands now is that he has managed to get a car between himself and the two chasing cars with his teammate and Ilham Halabi behind him, and that means Ibrahim is able to pull out a 1.8 second gap. Not quite safe, but definitely a lot more comfortable than it was in the last few laps there. And Miko and Ilham battling is only going to slow the two of these guys down and enable Ibrahim to run away with the race lead.
Ya, betul tu Max. Nampaknya Ibrahim berada jauh di hadapan. Mungkin ini merupakan antara strategi mereka, dan kini Ilham cuba mengejar Miko yang berada di belakang Miko Nasi. Muhammad Ibrahim jauh berada di hadapan. Nampaknya sangat-sangat selesa.
Ya, itu dia. Semakin lama semakin selesa. 2.8 seconds. So that's a lot of time that Ibrahim's managed to gain on Miko Nasi. It looks like the battle for first place just became the battle for second position. Ibrahim really using his knowledge and his ability through lap traffic in order to try and get past. Ilham Labi tries to have a look up the inside, not quite good enough there to try and overtake Miko Nasi right now. So it looks like the positions are set as Ibrahim well off into the distance, and now Ibrahim's job is to try and get those quick laps in and try and build up a lead.
Itu dia pastinya, hanya yang terhebat, hanya yang terpadu, dan juga persaingan hebat di antara dua pasukan ini, Todak Racing dan juga Full Focus Racing di minggu pertama dan juga minggu kedua.
Itu dia. Dan Iman Danish juga ada di tempat yang keempat, 1.4 saat belakang, so he's still 1.5 seconds behind. So if there's any mistakes from Miko or Ilham, Iman Danish might find himself a very unlikely podium recipient there. And don't discount Shame Aizan, who's further behind as well. He is another driver who's been able to spring surprises in the past for Hyperbulls, and this could be key in order to try and get themselves up the position up as high as possible.
Sami Aizan antara pelumba yang aku kenal, di luar pun kereta dia memang laju, sim racing pun laju juga. Super Glisser, aku ingat kereta lama dia, Super Glisser.
Oh ya. Antara legenda kereta Sepang. TKKR. So yeah, Shame Aizan, one of our real life racing drivers, famous for his K-car exploits in the Super Kalisa, and one of Michael Hafiz's fiercest rivals. Now Ilham Labi is getting closer and closer to the back of Miko Nasi. Could there be an opportunity for Ilham to try and pass and get himself up towards the front of the field? We shall have to wait and see as you go through this very challenging section there. You have to just clip the grass a little bit, mow the grass a bit on the apex to try and get a good turn in. To try and make an overtaking maneuver work here, you have to try and sort it out and set it up through the last half of the lap in order to try and get onto that start-finish straight. Meanwhile, Muhammad Ibrahim is up in first place, 3.4 seconds up ahead. He's doing a fantastic job right now as to try and get as much clear air between himself and Miko Nasi to try and really dominate the race here. This is absolutely fantastic stuff. Could this be a lights to flag victory? This could be very interesting indeed. Ilham Labi there in third place.
Jauh, susah nak kejar tu. Tapi kalau Muhammad Ibrahim terbabas sedikit pun mungkin akan berkata apa jadi.
Oh, Miko Nasi is out. It looks like Miko Nasi blinked out of the screen there for a split second and came back. That looked like a big flash of net code, as we call it, where there's a bit of a lag spike, and he's now dropped down to 5th place. So let's have a quick look at the replay there and see what happened with Miko Nasi. Let's have a look from the point of view of Ilham Labi there. Ooh. Yep, just a bit of a tap and then suddenly he's gone. It looks like Ilham Labi might have run into the back of Miko Nasi. That could be very, very consequential towards the end of the race there. Miko Nasi is now dropped down to 5th place. Ilham Labi is in 3rd, but Iman Danish has overtaken Ilham Labi to go into 2nd place. Ilham terjatuh ke 3, Miko terjatuh ke 5 dan Iman Danish pun sekarang berada di tempat yang kedua. Macamlah Bob cakap tadi itu, selagi checkered flag tak drop tu memang race is still on lah.
Kedudukan telah pun berubah. Iman Danish di tempat kedua, Ilham Labi berada di belakang Iman Danish. Apa dah jadi?
Itulah insiden di selekor kedua. Selekor kedua memang boleh dikirakan selekor yang paling susah pada para pelumba pada malam ni.
Okey, kita dah pun memasuki lap yang ke-12 dan kita ada berbaki lebih kurang dalam 10 minit saja lagi perlombaan kita.
Ya, itu dia. And with about 10 minutes to go in the race, on the 12th lap of the race, Muhammad Ibrahim is in the lead with a massive 6.3 second gap to Iman Danish. An absolutely dominant performance so far from the youngsters. The two youngsters in 1st and 2nd place, the two youngest drivers in the field. Ilham Labi is in 3rd place after that big mistake which saw him into the back of Miko Nasi. So Ilham Labi in 3rd place. Syamil Aizan in 4th. Miko Nasi in 5th position. Dominic Ang is in 6th place with Ruben Wong in 7th. Nigel is in 8th place with Taki in 9th and Khalif in 10th place.
Betul lah bang. Yang muda-muda ni memang power lah duduk kat depan lah. Ibrahim juga salah seorang pelumba yang muda. Iman Danish juga antara pelumba kita yang paling muda. Dan juga Ilham Labi, agak-agak berapa umur tu Ilham Labi tu?
Dia tak pernah bagi tahu, tapi boleh dikirakan dalam kategori klasik lah, belum vintage lagi. Kalau tak silap, dia tak pernah bagi tahu kita. Okey. Dekat entry fee tu pun, dekat entry form tu pun dia tulis umur cukup.
Okey, sementara itu Syamil Aizan di tempat yang keempat. Miko Nasi berada di belakang Syamil Aizan, kedudukan yang kelima. Yang mana tadi Miko Nasi berada selesa di tempat kedua, kini jatuh ke 5 anak tangga.
So itu dia sekarang. Right now Miko Nasi is battling with Syamil Aizan. He did not expect to be this far down. The full force racing had their script all set up. They were running to plan, and now there's been a spanner in the works. Miko Nasi now has to really push hard to try and get as many points for full focus as possible. He's now down into 5th position right now, really pushing hard in order to try and get past the Hyperbulls car of Syamil Aizan. But Syamil Aizan, let me tell you one thing, he is not an easy driver to pass.
Ya, betul tuan-tuan dan puan-puan. Okey, tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, anda sekarang menyaksikan XOX Esports Challenge round yang kedua. Jangan lupa like dan follow Facebook page XOX, XOX Malaysia, Adelaide Impact dan juga TKKR Racing Team. Terima kasih.
Ya, itu dia. Dan jangan lupa like page semua tu dan sharekan stream dengan #XOX Esports Challenge. Kalau dah buat semua tu, kita boleh lah jawabkan apa-apa soalan yang ada di dalam soalan yang dah dipin di dalam chat section tu. So kita boleh jawabkan soalan tu dan ada peluang untuk memenangi beberapa hadiah. So for those of you who are watching us, thanks a lot for coming along for the ride there, and hopefully you'll be able to like our pages, XOX, XOX Malaysia, Adrenaline Impact and TKKR Racing Team. If you do that and share with the #XOX Esports Challenge and answer those 5 questions that we've pinned in the chat section there, you have a chance to win and win big.
Ya, bukan sekadar hanya pelumba saja yang memenangi cash prize, malah kita sebagai viewers dan juga supporters juga berpeluang untuk memenangi hadiah. Terima kasih kepada para pelajar kami.
Yeah. Thanks a lot to our sponsors, XOX Mobile, XOX eSIM, and Estremo Oil. But meanwhile, the battle in the midfield is just being its own thing right now. Fantastic stuff. The AMC midfield battles were one of the most entertaining stuff about the racing that we used to do. Now with the XOX Esports Challenge, it's still there and it's still just as good as ever. Nazmi Bazli managing to really battle with Saiful Arifin. Saiful is not going to find it easy to get past these drivers. A lot of these drivers may not be that quick in qualifying, but they can have quite a lot of race pace. And up ahead there is Jazrin Jali in the Outer House FC car. Teguh Ezan is further up with Freddie Ang further along as well. So this group with the Outer House FCR cars and the URT cars are going to be very difficult to get past, and they're really battling quite hard, even amongst each other, as you can see there with Freddie and Ezan.
Teammate ni Freddie dan juga Teguh Izan ni senang nak cam sebab dia menggunakan dekel Hello Kitty, comel je. Ini dia Freddie Ang.
Yeah, itu dia. So Freddie Ang looks like he's getting closer and closer to the back of Nigel Chua. Nigel Chua has been a mainstay in sim racing for quite some time now. He's got the experience, he's got the speed. Will he be able to keep the real life racer that is Freddie Ang behind him? That could be a nice little addition to his CV the next time he heads to another race series. But it's going to be a very, very challenging stuff indeed as he comes up towards the lap 16. He begins lap 16 of the race there, and let's see if any of these 4 drivers will be able to make a move coming into turn 1.
Ya, tuan-tuan. Okey. Ini dia Freddie Ang masih lagi cuba memintas wicket di situ dan berjaya memintas. Dan kini kedudukan telah pun berubah, yang mana Freddie Ang berada di kedudukan yang ke-12, manakala Teguh Izan Lee berada di kedudukan yang ke-13 sekarang ni. Perebutan tempat ke-11 cuba mengejar wicket di hadapan.
Ya, itu dia Nigel Chua yang dia tengah memotong tu. Agak agresif juga pada malam ni. Geng URT ni memang cuba untuk menatasi podium ataupun mengatasi top 10, mencuba dapatkan apa-apa posisi yang dia boleh dapatkan. Memang very aggressive drivers there. Meanwhile, Wicket Low is further up ahead. He's trying to battle with Khalif and Kelvinda, with Taki just a few tenths of a second further along. Let's see if Wicket Low is able to do anything on the slipstream there. Wicket Low running the XOX mobile colours, just chasing down the field here. He's going to lock into the slipstream there. There's definitely some slipstreaming happening here. He'll be looking to the left of Khalif, to the right of Khalif. He's going to try and see if there's an ability to try and get past. A real strong effect there. Khalif sideways on the brakes there just to try and get away from Wicket Low. Just about managing to keep his position for hopefully another lap, but of course there's other places to overtake here, and Wicket Low will be looking for every single one of them.
Itu dia Wicket Low daripada tim XOX berada di kedudukan yang ke-11 sekarang ni, cuba mengejar Khalif yang berada di kedudukan tempat ke-10.
Ya, itu dia. Khalif tu pun antara salah satu daripada pelumba yang walaupun boleh dikenakan dalam kalangan newcomers kepada Adrenaline Impact, tapi ada juga banyak pengalaman di dalam sim racing ni. So memang bukan salah satu daripada pemandu yang boleh dikira ringan lah. Ya.
Oh, nampak gayanya sekarang ni on board bersama Ilham Halabi dan juga Iman Danish. Todak Racing mengguli kelompok hadapan di tempat kedua dan juga tempat ketiga. Dan untuk makluman tuan-tuan dan puan-puan, Ilham Halabi merupakan Pro Class Podium di tempat ketiga, membawa pulang RM200 pada minggu lepas.
Ya, harapan untuk Ilham Halabi ni bolehlah dapat boleh dikirakan duit makanan untuk minggu ini. Iman Danish pun juga berada di harapan. So Iman Danish driving for Todak Motorsports and Ilham Halabi driving for Todak Racing. So they are technically different teams, although with the same sponsorship, battling very hard at the front. Iman is in the Todak Motorsports cars, in the black livery cars, whereas Ilham is running the gold livery Todak Racing car. And they're really pushing very hard. These two drivers are not afraid to battle each other, even though they are ostensibly teammates. They know they're racing technically for different teams, therefore they're going to be battling quite hard with each other in order to try and get past. But the big thing is, Ibrahim is able to pull away because these two drivers are sort of sizing each other up and trying to battle with each other and perhaps trying to get past. They could be slowing each other down. So it's going to be up to Iman Danish and Ilham Halabi to see whether they continue fighting or work together as a team to try and catch up to Muhammad Ibrahim, who's right up there in first position, 8 seconds ahead. This is a massive gap to the leader.
Ya, Max, ini adalah pusingan yang ke-19 dan perlumbaan akan tamat bila-bila masa daripada sekarang. Ini kerana kita dah pun berada di hujung-hujung perlumbaan. Hanya berbaki satu pusingan saja lagi kalau tak silap aku.
Itu dia. So lagi 23 daripada 25 minit. So 23 out of the 25 minutes. There should be one more lap after this. We could see a lap 20 coming right up here. Perhaps even a lap 21 if Ibrahim finds himself on the right piece of track. Although he has enough of a gap right now that he could time it and make sure that there is only 20 laps in the race instead of 21. So that's how far ahead. It's almost an endurance race style of a gap. But Mohamed Ibrahim there, one more lap to go by our calculations, and he would have taken home the big prize. That would be some consolation for him losing out in the previous rounds. He has definitely proven his critics wrong and really taken the fight up to the big guys. That is a massive, massive achievement.
Okey, Mat Pinky, Tengku Izan Lee daripada URT Pink. Ini dia kenderaannya sangat menarik perhatian kami sekarang ini menggunakan dekel Hello Kitty. Kita bersama dengan Tengku Izan Lee berada di kedudukan tempat ke-13 bersama dengan Freddy, rakan pasukannya yang berada di kedudukan ke-12 sekarang ini. Cuba mengejar Freddy yang berada di hadapan beliau.
Ya, dan ini adalah dua-dua rakan sepasukan yang memang daripada bermula-mula lagi dah declare yang diorang willing to fight dengan satu sama lain. So these two guys, they've declared their intentions right from the off. They're willing to fight with each other for positions as well. So that's what makes this URT team great. They really have that sporting attitude. There's no team orders a la Ferrari in Formula One. These guys really are pushing very hard indeed to try and get that position up. But Jazri Jali is also quite close behind there. That could be a thing. Ilham Labi is caught up with Iman Danish, and now they're into traffic. So this could be a big, big moment for these drivers there. Let's see if Iman Danish is able to hold the position from Ilham Labi. There's a lapped car being passed there. That's Kelvin Ha going past. Meanwhile, Mohamed Ibrahim, as we pass to the 25th lap, this is going to be the final lap of the race. Lap 21, he's decided to take that extra lap. Sekarang kita ada di pusingan yang terakhir. Memang menakjubkan jugalah Ibrahim ni ya.
Oh, dia bertenang bertenang betul aku tengok. Race seorang jauh pula tu. Tanpa tekanan, tanpa pressure.
Itu dia. Memang boleh dikirakan Oran Park ni mungkin jadi kedangan yang merdu untuk Mohamed Ibrahim pada malam ni. Iman Danish sekarang berada di tempat yang ketiga, cuba mengatasi Ilham Labi. Ilham dapat memotong Iman di lap yang sebelum ini. Sekarang jom kita tengok kalau Ilham Labi boleh simpankan tempat yang kedua. So Iman Danish got past in the final lap of the race. Ilham Labi managed to bring himself up into second position, but this is your race winner for this evening. Give it up for Mohamed Ibrahim coming across the line there. Fantastic stuff in first position, 9.5 seconds ahead of Ilham Halabi, with Iman Danish following closely behind in third place. Fantastic results there for the two different Todak Motorsports drivers there. Wicked Low is still out there on the field. Mikunasi comes home in fourth place, Shami Aizan in fifth, Dominic Ang in sixth place, Ruben Wong is just about to cross the line very, very shortly in seventh place, with Kavinder Singh in 8th, Wicked in 9th, and Khalif set to finish in 10th.
Itu dia tanya kepada para pemenang. Nampak gayanya kali ini Ilham Alabi minggu lepas di tempat ketiga, kali ini minggu ini berada di tempat kedua di dalam Pro Class Podium tadi ada ucapkan.
Ya, dan untuk kali ini podium position hanya ada semua tukar kecuali Ilham Alabi. So mungkin Ilham sekarang berfikir boleh dikirakan dia berfikir di dalam championship point dan bermain game championship. So it looks like Ilham Labi is the only person that will be in second in the podium position from last weekend. Ibrahim is crossing the line in first place. Iman Danish comes across in third place. A big result for the youngsters of the series, Ibrahim and Danish, the two teenagers able to make it 1 and 3. Ibrahim managing to really prove the doubters wrong and come home in first position. Absolutely fantastic result. And now we have a look at the provisional race results. Mohamed Ibrahim is in first position for Full Focus Racing, 9.6 seconds ahead of Ilham Labi in second, Iman Danish in third, Mikunasi in fourth, and Shami Aizan in fifth place.
Itu dia tuan-tuan. XOX Esports Challenge round yang kedua kami bawakan kepada anda telah pun tamat. Seperti tadi kita telah pun menyaksikan sesi Pro Class yang mana Muhammad Ibrahim daripada tim Full Focus Racing berada di tempat pertama. Ilham Halabi minggu lepas tempat ketiga, kali ini beliau berjaya mendapat tempat kedua daripada Todak Racing, manakala Iman Danish daripada Todak Motorsport berada di tempat yang ketiga.
Itu dia. Memang istimewa juga perlumbaan pada malam ni. Memang boleh dikirakan dengan satu perkataan lah, dominasi. That's one word that you can use to describe Ibrahim's performance there. He was the fastest man in practice, fastest man in qualifying, led every lap from pole to the race finish. That is a grand slam in anyone's book, and Muhammad Ibrahim takes home that first place on Ilham Labi in second and Iman Danish in third place. So fantastic podium as well, really showing the future of sim racing with two young guns really battling it out with Ilham Labi, one of the veterans of sim racing. Absolutely spectacular stuff. So now we're going to have a quick look and see if we can get any of the drivers up here to have a look. So I believe in the studio this evening we have Muhammad Ibrahim. Good evening.
Hello guys, how are you?
Hi,
Hi.
fantastic stuff. Look, that was an absolutely dominating performance. How did it feel out there at the front of the field? Were you nervous or were you just pacing yourself out there?
Yeah, alhamdulillah, it was a very good race. I had a quite good margin. I was just basically cruising the entire race, trying to just save the tires and bring the car home basically.
Absolutely, and this would have had an absolutely big impact on the championship as well. You've really got yourself back on song this evening. How did it feel out there just trying to keep everything up there? It looks like you were absolutely dominant throughout the course of this evening. Is there anything special you did to the car or to the setup?
No, I mean, I'm basically just running a very basic setup and I barely practiced. I did not even know this track. Like I basically started practicing this morning, and before this morning I didn't even know how this track looked like. So it was quite limited practice.
That's pretty awesome stuff. It really just goes to show.
Muhammad Ibrahim, what is the secret? last week you win, this week you win. What is the secret?
No secret, lah. Just drive as fast as you can.
Put your foot down, I guess that's the secret, isn't it?
Yeah, just to talk even harder basically.
Brilliant stuff. And to dominate all parts of the weekend as well, the practice, qualifying and the race, that's pretty good stuff indeed.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. I would like to thank everyone who's been part of this event, XOX, and whoever's basically organizing this event. Thank you so much, guys.
And thank you for coming. Thank you for joining us and really putting on a textbook performance out there.
Yep, thanks, guys.
Awesome stuff. That was Ilham Halabi. Memang boleh dikirakan performance yang kata. Sorry. That was Muhammad Ibrahim. I'm still speechless, to be honest with you. Absolutely amazing stuff. Boleh kirakan agak menakjubkan ya. Setiap lap dia dapat mendahului.
Betul. Macam minggu lepas beliau mungkin dibantu oleh rakan pasukan, tapi kali ini untuk perlumbaan kemenangan pada malam ini rakan sepasukannya pun tak boleh nak tolong sebab berada di kedudukan kelompok belakang sikit lah. Tapi beliau tetap dapat maintain position dulu.
So sekarang kita ada Ilham Labi. Ilham, hai, apa khabar Ilham?
Hai, khabar baik.
Apa perasaan?
Siakap.
Sorry?
Siakap.
Minggu lepas menang, minggu ni menang.
Kemenangan hari ni sebenarnya, position hari ni sebenarnya untuk Iman. Sebab kemungkinan kita akan dikenakan penalti.
Okay, so baru saya nak bertanya, mungkin ada berita sensasi sikit. Apa terjadi pada selekor kedua tu, yang second corner tu? Apa terjadi di sana?
Actually tak tahu nak cakap, macam pelik juga situasi tu. satu macam dah over braking sikit lah. Tapi dalam situasi tu macam ada braking sikit, and once touch je pun dah macam hilang terus. I mean, kita orang dah tak tahu position kereta kita dengan kereta yang lain kat mana. So macam tu lah.
Mungkin insiden yang tak boleh dielakkan, tapi tak apalah kita.
Tapi pokok dia dah nampak macam agak masuk terlalu laju sikit macam tu lah.
Itu dia, tak apalah, kita hanya boleh mengharapkan steward untuk
yes. So tu yang position kita try ubah sikit position untuk yang last minute tu dengan Iman, tengok macam mana akan berhasil ke tak.
Okay. So so kita kena cakap lah, so we have to say that the positions are not final yet until tomorrow evening, but provisionally congratulations to Ilham for second place, dan Iman. Tanya kepada Iman Danish dapat.
Alhamdulillah, terima kasih.
So boleh kirakan inilah hari untuk pemandu-pemandu yang muda pada kali ini. Iman Danish pun dapat masuk sebagai ada boleh kira dua remaja di dalam podium pada malam ni. Apa perasaan Iman?
Perasaan sangat bersyukur. Firstly, speechless lah. Speechless, tak tahu nak cakap apa. Rasa bersyukur. Alhamdulillah.
Soalan soalan.
Ya saya.
Masa awak tengah berlumba tu, agak-agak orang belakang pressure tak? Sebab mana kan mak ayah dia pressure dari belakang lah. Go Iman. So ada tekanan tak?
Tak ada, sebab ibu bapa semua tengok dekat TV, dekat motor ni.
Okey, tak ada.
Tahniah semua. So congratulations to all the drivers that have gotten into the top 3 there. Fantastic stuff in there. Zero Blinker said, great race. Congrats to the winners. Thanks to Shah and to Azhar, Aziz. And thanks to all of the drivers out there. Macam Hafiz, tahniah semua. Ya, terima kasih macam tak, mungkin sedikit senyap sikit pada kali ni ya.
Dia belum panas gitu. Macam belum panas gitu.
Baru warm up ya.
Hi guys, aku buka mic.
So we have our director right now in the studio, Carol Alang. Hi Carol.
Hi. So thank you everybody for watching, and thanks also for sharing, and the stars also, we appreciate it all. And we're growing ever so slightly, so thanks for the sponsors actually, to make this happen. Okay, yes. We have some posters we're gonna share, but first we're gonna remind you of this.
Yes, so the XOX Esports Challenge giveaway for round 2, we have the Oppo Reno 4 Pro Plus, the Black B59 package, we have the Steel Series gaming headset, we have the One XOX Black package with 3 months free, as well as a fantastic 10GB high-speed data package for you guys. So memang istimewa jugalah hadiah-hadiah pada malam ni. Oi, kalau lah kita boleh masuk, tapi tak boleh lah, nanti bos marah. So itu dia. Encik Bob, mana dalam semua ni, mana satu hadiah yang paling favourite?
Kalau ikutkan telefon aku dah ada, mungkin aku nakkan gaming headset tu kot.
Kalau bagi saya Oppo Reno 4 tu mungkin best main Mobile Legends apa kan. Yeah, looks very good indeed.
Apa pun kita mengucapkan terima kasih kepada peraja kerana menaja hadiah-hadiah ini.
Okay, result dia kejap lagi. Lepas habis stream ni akan stream baru untuk nak reveal pemenang-pemenang dia. So jangan tutup phone, jangan tutup PC. Kita tunggu sekejap lagi ada stream baru. Kita akan announce dalam masa berapa minit lepas ni. Dan sebelum kita end kita punya stream ni, kita nak share minggu depan punya.
Yeah, that's right. The famous home in the shadow of Castle Nürburg, round 3 will be at the Nürburgring Grand Prix course. This is the Formula 1 course that was developed in 1985 and has been the home of the German and the European Grand Prix ever since. It's a spectacular race. Yeah, memang track legend ni. Boleh kira memang, I have to say it's going to be very, very exciting. We know it's not the North Life, but it's the next best thing. So do stay tuned for round 3. It's going to be an epic race.
Jangan lepaskan peluang bersama kami. Senang je nak tengok tarikh dia. Setiap hari Ahad 8 malam anda bakal menyaksikan perlumbaan yang sangat hebat di abad ini. 8 malam hari Ahad, jangan lupa.
Yeah, itu dia. So that's going to be very, very special stuff indeed. So do stay tuned for the results that are going to be in a super special stream. So do stay tuned for that. It'll be happening very, very shortly. But for now, all that remains for me to say is to thank our sponsors, XOX Mobile, 1XOX, XOX eSIM and Estremo Oil, to thank all of the racers who have put on a spectacular race for us this evening, and also to thank all of you guys, the guys who have been sharing, liking the stream, and just watching the stream. Fantastic. We thank you so much, and thank you to all the guys who have given us some stars. We've been growing ever so slightly as much as we can, and it's absolutely fantastic stuff. So Paduka, kita sebelum kita sign off, kita mesti cakap dengan kita punya club of the course. So we're going to talk to our club of the course, Paduka. Paduka ada tak?
Ada. Kan?
Itu dia. So Paduka, apa perasaan perlumbaan pada malam ni? Ada drama sikit tak?
Tentu, tapi seperti yang kita dapat jangkakan perbezaan yang amat ketara di antara amatur dan juga pro. Dan kita memandang perlumbaan ni memang satu perlumbaan yang di luar jangkaan, dan apabila kita dapat lihat yang mana pernah yang sebelum ni, race sebelum ni dia duduk di kalangan top 10, tapi agak memeranjatkan di mana bila di perlumbaan yang ini dia duduk di kelompok yang belakang. Tak tahu ini mungkin strategi tim atau apa, kita tak tahu. So, yang sangat di luar jangkaan sebenarnya.
Ya. Dan rupanya pada malam ni mungkin busy sikit dengan selekor kedua dekat stewards meeting nanti ya.
Memang beri tumpuan kerap di turn 1 dan turn 2 tu, tapi kalau mungkin ramai yang confused masa amateur race tadi. Kita lihat mana first lap dah ada insiden, tapi kita tak ambil kan, sebab kita harapkan perlombaan tu boleh diteruskan, tapi ada insiden di tempat yang sama di lap yang kedua masih lagi berlaku, dan so itu yang menyebabkan kita keluarkan safety car.
Ya, okey. So memang ada unsur keselamatan juga di sebelah sana lah. Okey, so terima kasih Paduka. Nanti kita kena hantar kopi lebih sikit ke dalam bilik steward tu nanti. Alrighty. Terima kasih Paduka.
Sama.
Alright, so that was our clerk of the course, Paduka Shoaib. He will be with all our stewards in the stewards meeting to make sure all of the results will be finalized, and the results will be finalized by the time tomorrow rolls around. See you all tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Tune in to Adrenaline Impact for our post-race show, where we relive the highlights, the thrills, the spills. Join me, Matthew Palmer, and all of my friends as we have a quick look back at this fantastic race. But for now, thanks to all of you watching, thanks to all of you racing, thanks to XOX Mobile, XOX eSIM, 1XOX and Estremo Oil. Terima kasih kepada Encik Bob yang memang padu pada malam ni.
Terima kasih. Jumpa lagi minggu depan.
Yeah, and thanks to all the staff that make this broadcast possible. But for now, that's it from me. Ta-ra.